But this Io Bristle to me is crazy strong. You have 2 heals coming from Dawnbreaker, Witch Doctor. I'm going Gaimin Gladiators, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this Bounty Hunter just go ham because I don't feel like they can really pressure healing lane too much.
Okay, alright, fair enough. He does seem good against these tanky heroes. Tanky melee, right? It's Bounty specialty because you don't need to kill, you just need to steal gold. So Bristle should be weak against him. And I like your point about the armor. People often they underestimate Bounty's armor, right? But at the same time, base armor, mind you. At the same time, last time I've seen the Bounty, at least successfully in the offlane, right? It either feels like you have some sort of steroids for the Bounty, like we saw Coddle with him, for example. We saw like you can get him a really strong lane that destroys like a Juggernaut or Lifestealer. Or alternatively, the hero feels a little bit lackluster, you know? Like he feels like he falls off a little bit, his axe comes a little bit too late. So I don't know if I'm super sold on this. Last time we saw the Bounty, I think it was stronger. Maybe there's a combo here with Fatal Pawns that I'm not seeing, Bowie, but I think it's just kind of okay as a pick.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem. Like, the eggs, if you have a mediocre game with Bounty, the eggs take so long because this hero just doesn't farm. He's also, like, kind of Pipega in terms of rotations. Like, you're not afraid of the Bounty Hunter ganks. The heroes on the side of Gaimin Gladiators are also kind of tanky or hard to kill because the Puck, the Bristle, they have a lot of heals. But we shall see. We shall see. They did overall last pick this, so they're very confident. We'll see what Notice can show us.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been really, really big fans of the Bounty recently. And we've seen it a little bit. I don't know if the Hawk learned this in Riyadh, but in Riyadh, Saberlight was trying it out.
God.
And he gave it
Rehab?
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah, the recent line. And he gave it to an idea.
Oh!
Yeah. And the Riyadh Masters. And he gave it as an idea to, like, other teams as well, so other teams start doing the Bounty offlane more commonly as well. Saberlight, I know, is a really, really big fan of this hero. But once again, it feels like a feast or famine hero, unless you have a really good matchup or a team that can play around him. So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see Betboom make it work in a more traditional setting, because this proves the hero is good overall. Don't try it in your pubs, though. If you play Bounty offlane in your pubs, you are going to suffer.
Yeah. Your team is going to desert you.
They're going to desert you. Some people are going to ban. If you play in C, you play anything that's not a real offlaner or a carry in the offlane, and they're going to abandon. Luckily now, I guess half the countries in C are banned, so we're good now. And if you play like in an uncoordinated pub, you don't utilize the track effectively, right? So this hero feels incredibly bad. I really do not recommend it unless you like playing with a stack.
Wait, so they're saying there are coordinated pubs?
Yeah, I think so. Just by chance, right? Have you never gotten one of those?
I guess maybe once every month. There's a pub that's not insufferable.
No, I feel like there's occasionally the one guy where like he types GLHF beginning of the game, super positive. He's usually playing 4 or 5 because let's be honest, and he ganks with you. He repairs the smokes. He's like really on top of his game.
High five.
Yeah, he's high fiving you every time you get a kill. Yeah.
Okay.
Pubs go in 2 versions, right? There's either that guy or there's the other guy where you start the game, he's singing in his mic, and the moment that you miss a last hit, he will take over as your carry, even though he is playing Pudge 4.
Dude, South America, like, we have, I'm sure that we have the lowest quality mics in any server, dude. It's so insufferable. Sometimes you get these PMA guys, and they start talking, but their mics are so insufferable that, like, you have to mute them. And it's tough because you're like, okay, this guy is definitely happy. Like, he should be an asset, but his microphone just makes him impossible to tolerate. Like, I just cannot tolerate bad mics. It's rough.
And see, the mics are pretty good. It's only the people that sing that they've all joined together into having bad mics for some reason. And it's way too common for people to sing in the server. I've never seen it as much. As Turacho, he gets launched over to Noticed. I don't think they're that bothered by this. They forgot the bounty. Someone grab the bounty, please. Thank you. And now they chase after Gilgur, who actually steals the bounty from Celery. Let's go, Gilgur. Who, by the way, in case you are wondering, why is Gilgur on this team? Force Major is not being kicked. It's just that he's ill, he's unavailable, and that's why Gilgur is standing in. Gilgur from Hellraisers. They tried to qualify to the ESO in Malaysia through Opens, but they unfortunately did not make it through, unlike Betboom.
And now one thing we didn't talk about. Do you have an opinion on this 4 Witch Doctor here?
Yeah, true.
I'm not sure how much of a believer I am of this.
To be honest with you, I think Tofu got some sort of message. Like he got DMs like, I bet you can't play weird 4s. Tofu, I always see you play Marcy, what is this? And now he's been playing Arc Warden, the Witch Doctor. This is diversifying his hero pool. I'm not sure. Well, Dawnbreaker seems like a good lane, right?
Yeah.
What's your concern?
It's just... My concern is that he's not a hero that really has any reach, right? They do compensate that with the pluck. But I just feel like he's a 4 that even if you buy the items you want, you just die early in your fights. Like, you don't want to be... For this Witch Doctor to cast any spells, he has to be relatively close, and then this bounty, even the tiny, can just burst him every fight. That's pretty much the thing I'm afraid of. Like, even if he gets items, feels like it's not gonna matter. But I'm always ready to be proven wrong, you know? Having Ags on Witch Doctor, that's always the dream.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it seems like a game where Ags would be pretty brutal, right, this game? Like, the bounces get to the Zeus all of a sudden is dying to a death one that's miles away.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You can, yeah, like, if you can wait for the golem, then there's not that many cancels, although if there is Ags on this bounty hunter,
yeah,
it is pretty annoying. We're always gonna get it canceled.
I feel like you need BKB if you really want to abuse the Death Ward this game, because you have the bounty shuriken, like you pointed out, and also the Zeus eventually, right? With Nimbus and Thunderbolt.
True. A
lot of mini stunts.
Yeah, maybe... I don't know, maybe you just go for the healing build here. You get like, I'm very curious to see how it's going to itemize, because I feel it's here doesn't scale. But maybe they just want a strong lane. And the win condition is the Bristle. It doesn't matter.
Maybe he goes for the healing build. Eventually. Someday he'll take points and do the right thing. You know who is going for the healing build is this Bloodseeker plus Warlock. It's actually the second time I've seen Betboom run this lane, and I honestly don't... It's like okay. It feels very lackluster, because it's just double heals. I guess you can never kill the Bloodseeker, but it doesn't feel like you do that much in combination. However, they've been managing to do a decent job of out-harassing the Dawnbreaker. To be expected with this many heals.
Yeah, I kind of expect him to get Fatal Bonds level 2, level 3 on Sunico, because as you said, he already has a lot of sustain. They are doing really well in the lane. So, could be a way for them to start actually dishing more damage.
I don't think you ever hit a blood right here unless Gaimin Gladiators wants to, and apparently sometimes they just want to bathe in Bloodseeker's blood. That's kind of interesting. No, Tofu. Oh, Tofu, no. That is not the Maledict play. That is not the play. Thirst is still up on the Hawk. Oh, but they're afraid. And in fact, the Hawk, wary of the Dawnbreaker, clever about this because Ace, too close by. They're going to respect that. Good job, the Hawk. It's actually hard as Bloodseeker not to just go, kill support, and run straight through.
Very true. You're a Bloodseeker enjoyer, right? Isn't that one of your favorite heroes?
It is my favorite hero. Yeah, I would have run for the Witch Doctor. Let me tell you right now. But that's why I'm not as good, or even I think I'm not even half as good as the Hawk. Not even a fourth, actually.
Pretty sure you are. Come on, don't set yourself forward.
No.
Dude.
The Hawk is incredible. Have you seen his body mass? The Hawk could lift me like he lifts my MR.
That is very true. The Hawk is huge. Mm-hmm. But
did you see in Stockholm that they had to put him further apart from his teammates in that cramped room in the group stages because he literally did not have enough space for his arms?
Oh yeah, I mean he had a room only for his arms.
Yeah, that was the hardest part, man. It was the Hawk in one room and everyone else in the other.
And you know how expensive Sweden is. Like they actually, it's rough. I'm sure ESL is still kind of recovering from the bills of having to have a room only for his arms.
Yeah, they tried to cancel his visa, and instead it was Mind Games who got canceled. Wrong team. Anyway.
Oh, TP from Celery Mid here gets the bottle refill.
Yeah.
What a bro.
Oh, but he gave it back to Boom, huh? Not the, Boom didn't heal Celery.
Oh.
Isn't that better? Oh wait, actually no, because Tether is only level 2, right? Yeah, it's not better. Never mind. Sorry. I'm so used to the old IO. Always heal IO, but you have to have 3 points in Tether now to actually be worth it.
True.
Yes, very true. Now he's back with the BB. Look at this combo.
Now they're just rushing a Vanguard on notice here. What is the... Oh, no, that's going to be a Hood on him.
What do you think of Hood versus Vanguard this game? Oh, wait, sorry, you missed mine. There's an attempt on someone's life, and it's the Pucks. However, Boom has a silence. Now deals York. Lol's not going to be able to do much. Auto-attacked him a little bit. Yeah, what do you think of Vanguard this game as opposed to Hood? Sorry, Hood as opposed to Vanguard for the battle.
Or notice. Yeah, it's weird, right? Because on one hand, there's a lot of magical damage coming from the Puck, coming from the Witch Doctor, even the Dawnbreaker. But I think if you just wanna passive farm the eggs, the Vanguard is better. Like, you can tank waves better. I'm not expecting such a high tempo draft because this Tiny needs Blink, right? Sure, the Bloodseeker can fight early, but even the Zeus, not necessarily a high tempo hero because the OT cooldown. They're actually just taking the tower.
Stabbed by Laurel. He doesn't seem to care. He just wants to make sure he can get the jump off as Tofu joined in as well.
Okay. Good defense, but a lot of tower damage. You don't expect the mid Zeus to be doing 90% damage to the tier 1 tower at 6 lanes, and Diracho dead.
Diracho gets killed on the top lane thanks to Thunder God's Wrath, which you noticed encourages. Now Celery could be in trouble. Noticed is not going to stop chasing you, Celery, so oh no! The tether didn't actually pull him anywhere, so that's going to be just another kill here for Noticed. I think the first one was also a track kill. We couldn't catch it because Zeus just surprised us with a Thunder God's Wrath.
Dude, a level 6 power spike on Bounty Hunter always surprises me, like how strong it is. And we talked about this, like usually Bristlebacks, they can zone most carries, but that BH with no items has 10 armor. So he can't really zone him, he gets the fast level 6, just solo kills your Diracho BB. Yikes.
Yeah. That isn't ideal because the Bounty Hunter can snowball out of control. Usually they go for the Hood or Vanguard as first item, and we're going to see it now. That's the Hood already completed. And then into the face boots as well. And then you go straight Axe, right? Which we've already talked about the strength this game.
I mean, this is the dream start here. You get First Blood. He's actually top of net worth by like an amazing margin. He's 1,000 gold ahead of the Ace Dawnbreaker.
Yep.
Another thing that kind of worries me here for GG is that we're talking about Zeus versus Puck. I feel like the Tiny versus Puck is the also scary part because that hero just gets trashed by Tiny.
It's true. Especially support Ace in the bottom lane though. They send the Rupture over. Ace, don't pick up that hammer, Ace. Don't you dare. Okay, the hammer just comes back to him. Gilger actually went a little bit too far, and the Maledictus is taking him down. Gilger wanted to kill Ace before he died, but he won't have the chance. Betboom unfortunately stopped once again by the rotations from Gaimin Gladiators. And Gaimin Gladiators, they're looking for more. Looking for a Bloodseeker. They actually hit him with Dream Cold. Good job by Boom. They join with Tofu's paralyzing cast. The stuns are good, but they don't have that many of them, so the Hawk, fast little Bloodseeker, will be able to get away. Noticed, now the other fast person coming with a track, hoping to hurt Boom. The Shuriken hurts, but they need one more hit, and it's going to be Thunder God's Wrath that does the trick. As Ace sends the hammer back to himself, now gets tracked. There's the Blood Right Shuriken to hopefully get the Blood Right in. They do, and Notice finishes him off. Tofu, last target here. Tofu, Maledictus Noticed, but the Hawk and Notice are just running around Tofu. They want to get enough mana for the track. They just got it. The Hawk is getting healed. Don't die to Tofu, the Hawk, or to the tower. They're actually going to give it to Soneko, as Notice picks up even more track gold for the team.
This Bounty Hunter is totally out of control. I don't know, man. This hero is such he's so unstable. Like in some games, it feels like Bounty Hunter is total garbage, but in this lane where it's a Bristleback IO, they have no kill potential whatsoever. He's just totally out of control, and it doesn't matter that he farms slowly if you just get so many kills. I think he was a part of every kill. He is 3-0-2.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. Like I wasn't expecting the Bounty Hunter to snowball out of control like this game. I feel like Gaimin Gladiators need to address this problem soon. Like they can't keep feeding him supports, right? He's just gonna be able to get a super early Ags, and then I genuinely don't think Witch Doctor 4 will do anything this game, Bowie.
Yeah, that is definitely like usually I feel like 4s are pretty good because like your tinies, your earth spirits, your snapfires, they have a lot of burst magical damage. Which Doctor has a lot of burst physical damage. So,
yeah, good point. I didn't consider that part actually.
Yeah,
I guess what other 4s bring that to the table? Nothing really. Like can't think of any other 4 that's like particularly physical. Tusk maybe.
Yeah, Tusk is kind of physical. Maybe. Yeah, there's not. I guess like Earth Spirit. I'm sorry, Earth Shaker is a little bit physical, but not that much really.
Bowie crit shakers on his Earth Shaker 4. Oh, so Neko, he is trapped here between a hog and a hard place. And I don't think Soneko's making out of this one alive. Gilger's in a small position. He gets Stream Cold, gets leashed and killed. However, Tofu might just die to the Shuriken as Notice here to collect his pay. Taxes for Notice. He just wants every single kill here. Get rid of Duracho. That's 3 track kills for Notice. Going for Ace next. Do they have enough damage? Shuriken's available. They track over Boom though. Ace not tracked any longer. Notice still chasing after him. They didn't get the crit though, unfortunately, because track wasn't up. Pick ball for Ace, and he'll be able to get out for now.
Oh lord. Oh lord.
Oh, okay. He's chasing for it. Oh my god, Notice. This man has no chill. He almost has Ags now. And is he gonna run away? Celery's coming after him. No, Noticed. No, Celery. You can't give him any more gold. They actually do dust him. Everyone's coming in here for Notice. He gets hit by the paralyzing casket, and that's going to be him dying. But to the tower to make sure that the gold is spread among 3 heroes as opposed to a single core.
Alright. That's, yeah, he only needs 1 item here for the eggs, as you pointed out. I think this game is going, like, for the next 15 minutes, this game is really hard for Gaming Gladiators. It's only a 2k gold lead, but the Bounty Hunter already has everything he needs. He's already, like, super high level.
He is. Okay, there's the physical damage coming into play against 0 armor Tiny.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a game where even the physical damage is not going to be super impactful. I guess the problem is that this Tiny is Omega underfarmed, but once he gets levels, he doesn't care too much about the Death Force damage, because he gets some free armor. Bounty Hunter, very high armor. Bloodseeker, pretty decently armored as well. Even the Zeus, so we'll see how much Tofu can deliver here. I really am not that confident. Right now he's also very poor, so we don't even know what he's building. I guess just Shard, maybe.
Yeah, he's building to survive right now. Just trying to exist. Maybe even give Celery more farm priority at this point, because I think he's going to have much more utility, like you pointed out.
Yeah. I mean, so how's the eggs going? Oh lord, he actually has a lot of farm, but he did stop for... I mean, yeah, no, he's fine. He needs half of the components here for the eggs.
I mean, but the Bounty Hunter already has it, right? So, I don't know, good luck to Io, I guess? Like, seriously, 1 Shuriken, and that's half of Io's HP now.
Both supports, they're gonna be so sad the whole game. They kind of have to play together, but even in that 5 versus 5, it felt like there's a lot of AoE damage, especially because of the Fatal Bonds. Oh, nice smoke breakage there by Gilger.
Betboom, okay, Laurel takes a rune here, double damage, noticed. Nearby. Yeah, he gets Stream Coiled, but thanks to the Hooded Defiance, he'll be perfectly fine.
Interesting.
Goes bottom.
Oh, no, that's the choke.
Does he find Ace? He does track him. Shurikens him. Oh no, so you gotta hit the creep on the way out. That's what you gotta do. Creep, bounce.
Oh, they are smoking towards this B.
Do we have Shard and Zeus? We do not just yet, so it's a difficult kill. We're gonna try anyway. First is the Io. Goodbye, Io. Duracho. A little bit tankier, thanks to the Vanguard. They can track him, but they realize it's not worth it.
I really feel like this game, like, it's only a 2k gold lead, but to me, this is like a 70% chance of Betboom winning. Like, there's no play. The Zeus is hitting tier 1 towers. I don't see what this Witch Doctor can do. I don't see even the Dawnbreaker. Like, it feels like they're so squishy on the side of the Gaming Gladiators that the Solar Guard, it doesn't even matter. They die before he can even show up as Ace. Yeah. Ace might be dead. Okay.
That's not. Yeah, that's a bit crazy. You see, Soneko went for Veil Discord. By the way, this is actually wild. It's just to amplify the bounty's damage, man.
Yeah.
Last time they did this, I saw this with Solar Blind. I never considered this because Shuriken now crits, right? I think it's the only spell that can crit. I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, besides Blowthorn. Yeah, like with Blowthorn, so spells crit, but yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. But like, as in like the base spell actually crits, right, off the track. And so how it works, and I noticed that yesterday because I've never seen this interaction, is if you spell amp, it crits off the spell amp to damage, right? So it actually crits ridiculously with Solar Blind or Veil Discord.
And by the way, for all of the viewers, don't dual queue with Warlock Bounty Hunter, expecting to do as well as they did here.
No, actually, dual queue with Bounty Hunter and Warlock. It's a great combo. Fatal Bonds on top of this. Don't listen to both.
Also, add me on Steam, and when you do, actually let me know you're queuing, so I can also queue.
Yeah, exactly. And, me too, actually. And to make sure that we have fair competition, avoid me, just to make sure that we're like on opposing teams.
Dude, one thing that I actually hate about the avoid system is that you can only avoid teammates, but you cannot avoid opponents. I think that is... Like, have you ever played against like a Smurf or something, and or like someone that's super toxic or bad, and you want to avoid on the enemy team, but you can't, and then he actually shows up in your team the next game?
Yeah... Oh, that's like every game for me. I run out of avoid slots once a day. So it's, yeah, sure.
Wanted to avoid the server. Alright, so let's focus here. Time
they broke the tether. Didn't notice this. So Celery's like, okay, he's breathing safely for now, but Bounty is just chasing after them now. He sees them, of course.
Oh my god.
I don't know how you stop him, seriously. I feel like you're right with the 2k gold. Like, it's not so much about, oh, it's a huge gold lead. It's about the fact that Bounty Hunter got online, you weren't able to stop him, and now in combination with Azusa and Bloodseeker, they're gonna be able to run you down. Gaimin Gladiators can still come back, for sure, but it's a really tall order because they couldn't stop this early power spike on the Bounty.
Yeah, like, if they're gonna win this game, I really feel like this is gonna be a 40-50 minute plus game, because what they need is this Bristleback to be, like, level 25. They just need lots of power spikes.
Okay, he dies in the top lane. Duracho does get ruptured, though. Blood right? Duracho's like, dude, stop.
Yeah, that's good. The eggs on the bristle. That is one of the first things they need. Oh, if they can get this bounty hunter, where's the coil? Oh, it's actually...
Okay, notice now he could be in trouble. That's a shard, so has a lot of damage resist now while invisible, but I don't think it's to save him. Notice it's finally down. Gilger, the punching bag, also falls, and Laurel, he's being run down by Ace. We have a hammer in a second. Blood Right's been set up, but it's too late. They'll lose 3, and Gaimin Gladiators respond with a strong punch.
Okay, this is amazing. They
70% probably.
I guess they expected the coil being on cooldown, like something that would make the Gaimin Gladiators very weak. But this Bristleback hero, as we said in the draft, is one of the S tier heroes of the bench.
70%.
And by S, I mean salami heroes.
Okay, sure. I don't know what to answer.
Salami here.
The Roche will fall now, giving it over to Boom. Who, interesting, and it's not going to be given to Duracho. I guess they just don't think Duracho can die, but they toss away Duracho. Bounty's here again. Fatal bonds him with the creeps, but that's not that useful. They want a Celery instead, and Celery only gets hit by a single shuriken. Killing the Bounty is a huge deal, though, because he's worth so much, right? That he actually gives you half the gold stolen back.
Yeah, I was checking how much he gave away. Where is it? Oh, I actually can't even see. No, that was 640. Yeah, that's pretty much... That's a lot of money at this stage of the game. Dawnbreaker has a BKB, actually. Did disassemble the Echo. Alright, I mean, they do have a couple of pieces going. Even with these Aegis, though, I think it's going to be a farming Aegis. I don't think they really... Oh, well, as I said, it's just solo boiling a Warlock.
Yeah, but careful. Ace is forced to use the BKB, and Ace heals back up. So Neko dies in the mid lane, but Ace manages to survive here. Are they going to connect here is the question. Gaimin Gladiators are looking for the valuable kills. Noticed And I think they noticed that track. Will Boom guess? Oh no, he's a core. They can't play Dust, unfortunately. So there's no way of seeing. Oh, the supports get by. They have Dust. No, it's in trouble. There's a Rupture onto Zuracho. Thunder God's Wrath, everything they can, throwing the Shuriken as well. The Hawk is ready to fight this. Going for Tofu. Heals a little bit, but the Hawk manages to get the kill regardless thanks to Laurel's help. As they get rid of the Aegis here. Ace. Once again tracked. They got rid of Boom's Aegis, which means Gaimin Gladiators needs to take something else from this fight. They can't just lose it for free. But the enemy team is a little bit too fast.
That Zeus is becoming a problem. He gets the Nether Shaw, has Kai and Sanj with the shard. Yeah, it does a gazillion damage, the Bristle. Problem is, right now it feels like they can't really kill him. They need a Basher on the Bloodseeker, I think. But he also doesn't have Phase Boot, so he's going back for that. And then probably Basher. I don't think there is any other item besides Skadi he could build. Smoke, alright. They don't have Golem, but they do have the Blink on Tiny, so that's a debut. They falls back on the Bristle, but they don't have the Rupture.
There's Boom coming in, Pointing Rift. Oh, okay, good. Gilgar wanted to catch him. Avalanche really strong at catching the puck here. Now it's bounty time is done, right, Voe? Now it's time for Zeus to be my best friend. And that's when Veil comes into play as well with that shard, as you just mentioned. Oh, that little stun. Don't play around that though. But is Bristleback strong enough to deal with the shard is my question, Bowie? Does he have enough resistance? Is Satanic gonna allow him to tank that Zeus away?
I don't think he's dying. Like, it's one of those weird games where the Zeus can do a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter if the Bristle's not dying and they have this IO. So it's all about whether they can kill the IO on the side of Betboom. They really need this Bounty Hunter to constantly get some track vision. And then I really feel like the Tiny plus the Zeus can kill the IO, which is the key to killing the Bristleback later. He's going for the hood on the IO, realizing that there's just an amazing amount of magic damage coming from the Shuriken plus the Zeus. I think that's the right call.
Yep. Also amplifies Blood right? Because Veil is just increased damage for spells.
True.
And Rupture, actually. I never thought of that. I suppose the percentage-based damage is actually kind of a big deal. Gilgar? Oh no, Gilgar. Oh no, Gilgar. What are you gonna do? He's stuck. He's leashed. But a Warlock Golem to answer for this. Bristleback and Doracho is dying so quickly. Healed back by Ace. But they can still finish him off. He's running around with Rupture on him. Zeus will burst him. Notice trying to tank this damage, unable to as Ace kills him. The Golem is dealing with Tofu. Oh, but Tofu turns into a ward, so Neko just needs one more hit, and he gets it! That Golem is too strong. In the backline, Laurel trying to survive Ace's onslaught. That Mage Slayer is really screwing over with Laurel, as he can't deal as much damage as he'd like. And now Laurel in the tree is trying to avoid the puck. Trying to help him, but the creeps are body blocking him. Great God of Thunder, blocked by a bunch of measly creeps.
Ooh. Yeah, that was, at the end of the day, that was the right call from the Bristleback. They actually, they really kind of stretched his HP just going by himself. He took a lot of damage, but he also soaked half of the spells on Betboom and allowed the puck to clean out later. It was nicely played. I still kind of skeptical on this Witch Doctor 4, but honestly, Gilgar is struggling so much this game. 0-5. We barely saw any like Blink Eva tosses. I'm not sure. Like, it really feels like his hero should be impactful this game, but he's not really finding openings. He's being the first point of contact, just dying early. Kind of unfortunate. I feel like if he was having a better game, this should have been easily, like, already game for Betboom, or at least, like, a commanding lead, which they never got. Like, they had the map control, but they never really successfully took a team fight this game.
Yeah, I see your point. I feel like Tiny is not having the... I mean, it's difficult, right? Because he can't toss the puck as consistently, right? He can kill the supports, fair enough. But the other two cores, Dawnbreaker and Bristleback, seem like too hard to kill. And if you toss back either of these heroes, unless there's Rupture on them, it feels like you die, not they die, right? I do love... I want to commend Ace, though, because if you look at this build, it's the ultimate anti-magic build with BKB and now Mage Slayer. It's not to build Bloodthorn, it's just Mage Slayer to take advantage of the Starbreaker. I actually love this. It's really effective against the whole Betboom team, particularly Bounty and Zeus.
Yeah, like just proc this on Zeus, he's gonna be doing way less damage than normal.
He nullifies the Blood Rage. Actually, did he go for the Blood Rage?
Are they
spell
actually
him?
using Blood Rage on the Zeus? I'm not sure.
They're not.
Yeah. Yeah, carry Bloodseeker. He's not
Yes,
gonna be really thinking about those things, but still, would be nice to see.
We always talk about this, right? Like, there's always a hype interaction. Oh, Blood Rage of the Zeus, it seems amazing. But frankly, if you're a Bloodseeker and you don't Blood Rage yourself, like, it just feels terrible. You just can't fight without it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
I think
he breaks coil, Blood Rage to protect him, but unfortunately he didn't go invisible, so he takes full damage from that. That's Rupture. Okay. That's like a welcome Rupture, I suppose. And they're fighting this. Betboom, they're fighting this. They want to punish. Ace is the target. He has BKB still, though. And they lost their Rupture. And they actually found the puck here. And the damage is high, but is it enough to kill off a puck? They calculate Blood Rage. Oh, he doesn't jump! He juked him! Never mind. He didn't juke shit. The Hawk just catches him with his thirst speed.
I actually really like the Satanic second item, the Bristleback. It's not that common. Usually you see, either BKB first, even Basher sometimes, but just to take the Fatal Bonds out, it's so much value. And, you don't want to go Lotus Orb on a carry Bristle.
Yep.
So that's like the greediest he can go while still having a Dispel. I really like this.
Yeah, I like your point, actually. Because I always thought about it just as the healing against the Zeus. Obviously very good. Just out-tank him, right? Between that and the Mage Slayer, just mitigating damage. But the Fatal Bonds, and also Track, right? You also get rid of Track.
Exactly. It's really good. It doesn't really cost any mana as well. So, like, oh, what about Manta? Yeah, like, this hero is super mana hungry. And, yeah, obviously, you don't really get enough value, unfortunately, for Bristle. His illusions are trash.
Yeah. Also, I feel like, Manta is a kind of a waste on Bristle, right? Because they don't expel bottom
people used to say Manta was a waste on Timbersaw in the past.
I would say that still might be a waste sometimes.
No, it's absolutely a waste. It's only against Greenstroke.
Yes.
It's still pretty.
And it's only if you're
fighty.
Actually, Amar will just be like, oh, there's a silence? Manta. No question about it. I'm Mantaing every single game. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. But now he is going back for that BKB. He got very lucky here. That Titan's Liver, dude, that's by far the best neutral item he could get on Bristle as well. Yeah, Magic Crest. Do we have any Pog neutrals here? There is a Philly on the Witch Doctor. And there is...
There is also a dead Witch Doctor. There's also the Bristle.
He has the ward.
Over Witch Doctor, Gilger. He's going to die. At least the golem to finish off Tofu. So it's 4 for 4. In comes Ace. Hoping to kill Soneko. Ghost Hunter will save Soneko for now. But the Puck just hunts him down. And Ace runs over to the high ground. Gilgo falls onto the Puck. They use the Nameless as well. And Boom has been bursted. Gaimin Gladiators, they regret the choice to fight here, as they just lost their mid laner for free, and they could still lose more. They've been tracked, or they tried to reset the fight, actually. We got 2 tanky cores still available. Ace goes ham, goes for the tiny first. Boom bites back, actually. A toss over Ace to the Hawk, but he's a BKB. The Hawk doesn't want to fight against the BKB Dawnbreaker. Dreamcoil catches the Hawk. He's been stunned now. The Hawk can't get away. He is going to die. Gaimin Gladiators resetting the fight effectively, baiting out with a buyback from Boom, and now looking for notice perhaps. But he's invisible, they can't see him.
Yeah, really clutch buyback there. They actually had to burst the Warlock and they used a lot of spells, so the fight kind of started awkward. But with the buyback they clean up, they know that they're heavily cooldown based with the Rupture and the Lose OT. And now this is a free Roche.
Yep. This comes with a shard as well, which I would honestly give it to Bristle, or is it Buck? There we go, Bristle.
There we go.
I think the hairball is incredible at dealing with like backliners like Zeus, because it starts slowing them down. You force them to use an escape early, or even at the spell.
Honestly, I would love to see it on Celery, because I think he amplifies his damage more. But hairball is pretty good as well. Who thinks of giving your 5 a shard? Of course, it's gonna be the carry.
Yeah, that's true.
The Bourgeois.
The what?
Is that how you call it? Bourgeois?
Bourgeoisie?
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Well, how do you say it in Portuguese?
Burguesia.
Yeah, same in Spain. Burguesia.
Yeah.
No, but in English it's just a French word, boy. That's it. You have to understand that at one point, English, like when you get to the top 10% of words, the vocabulary, it's just all French. That's how it works.
I see.
Yeah.
Give me another top 10% word then.
No, the voyage is also French. Visage is French.
Oh, that's French? I didn't know voyage is French.
Anything with AGE is pretty much French.
Okay.
Duracho. Duracho, brother. I think, yeah, there we go. There's the BKB. Oh no, he got ruptured. Plan B, BKB TP. There we go. Plan B works. And the IO came by for a little bit of healing and a relocate. Oh, Celery's such a bro. He just wanted to make sure Bristleback doesn't die here.
Helping.
Wait, Boom is here. They're trying to counter-initiate on this. They're actually fighting this. Everyone's a bro. They fight together. They win together. And apparently, they might also lose this team fight together because Celery's already dying. Duracho, though, is in the middle of this fight. And Boom had a buyback the whole... Sorry, had a H the whole time. The Hawk just lost his BKB. Duracho's a little bit too scary. And goes Ace, hoping for Laurel. Reset with the Golem. Going for Tofu next. Hoping to skill a support with his Golem, but Soneko's Golem is being torn to shreds. Gaimin Gladiators, they might have not had the best fight, but they at least can take objectives from this, and they forced a lot of resources from the enemy.
Bro. Yeah, that was... I'm not sure if that was miscommunication or 5D chess, because he TPs out, but then they relocate. I guess, like, they were baiting. They're like, oh, no, that was a mistake, or I relocated. And suddenly they come back with the Bristle, but that also meant they had BKB for the whole fight, so I'm not sure how valuable that was, even if it was intentional. But as you said, they do take the tower, but lose the Aegis. This could be a timing for Betboom if they didn't have to use the Chaotic Offering. They might just stretch a fight anyways, because it's not like that Golem does too much. They will have Rupture, they will have... Thundergod's Wrath in 30.
Yep. Oh, there's the Rupture. Toss. Finally the combo. Yeah, we're gonna see it.
Double damage in Bristle.
Yeah, still a little bit scary. And in fact, Gilger's just gonna die for free. Duracho going for Soneko next. Ghost Scepter. We'll see Soneko for a couple of seconds, but Drinkle did catch the Bloodseeker. Just run towards him. Run towards the Hawk. Cancel his TP. The damage is so high. They don't even need a stun here. Notice in a similarly bad position. At least he has BKB to save himself from the stun. That's not gonna be sufficient from the slows. As the BKB ends and his life ends with it. Soneko together with him as well. Gaimin Gladiators is just going to take down 4. Zeus is left to live, but he didn't have any impact in that fight.
Bristleback is very strong. That's all I can say. Like they have a Witch Doctor 4. I think up until this Lotus Orb, Hero doesn't really bring that much to the table. But you just have Bristle Io killing everyone. It's just... I have no words. I'm kind of impressed that the Bounty Hunter at the end of the day didn't do as well. Like, he got the super early egg.
70% Bowie.
I mean, it was 70%, but... Dude, this Tiny is 0-9. If this was South America, that Tiny would be 12-0. I really feel like this was a game that Tiny could have shined more.
I see. You're pitting this on poor Gilger. Okay. Blame the stand-in.
No, I'm not saying Gilger. I'm blaming the region. Okay.
Oh, wow, that's worse. That's worse, Bowie. You are digging a hole very deep right now, my friend.
Oh no. Oh god. But yeah, this was a very interesting voyage throughout Bristleback. This hero will probably be bad game too. I think. I really feel like it's they tried to 24 that. Bounty as a counter, and it worked in the lane, but I'm not sure how well it does if you eventually get behind. That's really the problem. Bristleback can get behind, he farms really quickly, he eventually gets objectives, gets Roche. The Bounty is only good at one thing, and that is stealing gold.
Yeah. I will say, I do feel, I will add to your tiny point, not to blame Gilger necessarily, just the team coordination as a whole, that I was expecting it to be Rupture Toss every single fight to initiate, right? On anything. It doesn't have to be the Bristle, honestly. I think Bristle's probably the worst target. Like, you Rupture Toss maybe the IO, but it felt like they were either torn between rupturing the Bristle and actually getting a kill with Rupture Toss, and also they just didn't seem to value it as much. Like, you saw it towards the end, it dealt a fair amount of damage, but I think Bristle's now a little bit too farmed. But every single fight we saw Toss for support and Rupture the Bristle, right? Instead. Which is an odd way to initiate the fight when this combo is so strong.
Yeah, another aspect is that they're actually outputting so much physical damage to the Bristle that the Hawk actually stopped for a plate mail before he built the Scotty. So the timing was delayed. I think if the Scotty was a little bit earlier, he could have probably killed Diracho with the toss you were talking about. If they could actually get the Rupture toss with the Scotty on top of it. They do have it now, but this is a 30k goal lead. It's definitely not going to be an easy task for Betboom. I guess, you can always steal a little bit for yourself. So, if you want to have a hero on the opposing side when you're 30k gold behind, it's maybe Bounty Hunter. Just keep stealing. It's infinite money. Infinite value.
I mean,
you don't seem very.
I'm not very convinced by this, just because I think that okay, money, but I want to see some team fight right from Betboom, or something to scale. I felt like the Zeus I thought the Zeus would scale better, honestly, on this team, and deal a lot with the Bristleback thanks to his shard. Bristleback kind of seems unstoppable with the IO. I just don't think they have enough damage anymore.
Yeah, he's 5-3, but that's the thing. Like, he does a lot of damage, especially because he's against those tanky heroes. But you need to kill people for the damage to be meaningful, and that is the one thing Bounty Hunter kind of struggles. When everyone is very low HP, he can just solo kill them and chase them down. But if Gaimin Gladiators are together, they do have a lot of heal. As we talked about, they have the Wraith Pact reducing the damage as well. It becomes a harder task, but they're smoked. This could be it.
Oh, there's a Thunder God's Wrath. Okay. Ignore Bristle, that's the plan. Let's go. It seems to be working, but unfortunately Celery's not dying. Now Celery's close to dying. There we go. The Hawk finally gets him, thanks to Spider Legs as well. So this is the start of a good fight, potentially, especially Boom joins in the Nimbus. But Ace, in the backlines, breaking this fight completely. Duracho, not afraid of fighting without Io. It seems like he's just going to run down Notice. He doesn't see Notice because he's up Corn, doesn't have Dust anymore. And Zeus, the damage starting to pile on. Notice just died by accident as Duracho killed him with Quill Sprays. Celery joins back so they can push here. Gaimin Gladiators don't know the meaning of the word retreat. They don't see the point of this. They already spent their buybacks. Gilder is here though, but there is no Rupture for another 30 seconds. Duracho will continue to push. And the upheaval actually sends him away. He's a little bit afraid of getting caught in a bad position. No BKB, no Dispel either for the upheaval, so just needs to make sure he can retreat in time.
Yeah, the toss back is the scary part there for sure. And I mean, you talked about it in the draft, right? You were kind of skeptical that IO was allowed to be picked.
Yes.
And maybe you're right. I think they were banking on just being able to kill Celery every fight, and they did kill him in that fight. But it meant the Bloodseeker used BKB to get that kill. They also used Rupture.
Yep.
If you're using all of that to kill a 5, the fights are probably not going to go in your favor, especially when you're 30k goal behind.
I just think it's a little bit too late for that play to come out, right? Like, I thought you should have done it in the beginning, where Io was actually killable. I mean, I thought the Ags would just actually kill the Io, honestly, by accident sometimes.
Yeah, he's a tanky boy. Has Mac, has Pipe. Very tanky indeed. And the smoke, I don't think it's going to clip anyone. They went way too deep.
Yeah. It's okay, Bowie. Even if the smoke finds nobody, remember it's 70% in favor of Betboom, so we're good, guys. Don't worry. If you're a Betboom fan...
God, they're not gonna let that go, right? They're not gonna let that go. Okay.
Oh, look, actually, this is an interesting play. So they couldn't find anyone to smoke. I think that was probably meant for a team fight. So instead they go for an objective on Roche.
Not better than I expected, but they're losing barracks, my friend.
Oh no. They didn't calculate this part. Go, Zeus, defend! Oh no! Oh, Bristle hits too hard! 4 hits and the backs are done. Upheaval him. Yes, Soneko. Make a slow. Oh. There's the Thunder.
They're gonna get Roche.
They are gonna get Roche.
They will get it.
They will get it. The Hawk, take the axe. There we go. Percentage-based damage. No, actually, give it to the Warlock, please. No, I'm joking. Give it to the Warlock, please.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Never ever use Bloodseeker Ags unless you're throwing them.
They're saying Blood Mist is not a great ability.
Man, you know how you know it's not a great ability? Then the last update, Valve thought it was a shard.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so at that point,
you know what? If they want to make this good, just make this like, instead of Thirst Heal bonus, just make it like heal reduction, right? That's how you make things OP, Dispatch.
Yeah, I guess so.
Heal reduction.
Duracho, he seems OP, Dispatch. Okay, at least he's gonna be silenced, so he can't keep... Oh, never mind, they don't even really need him to use the growth sprays. There's the toss to save him. But unfortunately, lost the Aegis midair. I think the Maledict took him down as Ace breaks down both supports in a single Starbreaker. The Bloodseeker will now fall. It seems like this is over for Betboom, but they do have one last try. Notice activates his BKB to save himself for the puck. Duracho sees the GG. There's no reason for them to push it any further. Gaimin Gladiators will take this game against all odds. They will beat Betboom in the first game of the series.
It's 70% chance. Yeah,
Yet they beat them, dude. That 30% for Gaimin Gladiators. What a team.
Yeah, they definitely recovered well. It was looking pretty gruesome, but they took some great fights. I do feel like Gaimin Gladiators draft was easier to execute. You know, it's just group around this, bristleback. Usually, you would expect the Fatal Bonds to be a huge counter to that, and in a lot of fights, it proved to be very effective. But they just got in a farm. The Lotus Orb came out, the Satanic came out, Tofu just got a lot of levels. They had a crazy amount of healing, so it was definitely hard for Betboom to really burst people. I think if this Tiny had a better game, could have been the case. Also, there's not a lot of lockdown. This Bounty Hunter offers very little, and then it's only the Golem and Avalanche. Those are the stuns that they had, so a little bit hard to get on top of the people they want to kill, and thus the Puck can thrive, the Io can survive a little bit longer, and in longer fights, I really feel like Gaimin Gladiators had the upper hand.
Yeah, for sure. It did seem like, I think some of their aspects, I think you did point out that Tiny were not as well utilized into that mid game, and usually Betboom was this super efficient team. They take a small amount of advantage and just roll with it, right? But this game, I mean, I questioned the draft, right? No steroids for Bounty Hunter. That Axe came at a good timing. I was very impressed, but still, there was nothing to really boost up the Axe to make it a ridiculous spell like we saw with the Coddle, for example, right? And he wasn't like Collapse when he played it, for example, in Riyadh, where he just played as a supporter, right? And he went for auras afterwards. This was supposed to be the core part of their strategy, and they didn't really transition into Zeus or Bloodseeker taking over. But well done by Gaimin Gladiators. Hopefully the second game Betboom will ban all the heals if they're expecting a bristleback, because otherwise it's going to be really tough to bring this guy down. For now, we're taking a small... Yeah, just ban the heals. For now, we'll be taking a small break and come back with game 2 shortly between Betboom and Gaimin Gladiators. See you guys soon.
I've been with you for as long as I can remember, and you stood by me and held up my head. But it's getting hard to say that I am not a pretender. No, I don't wanna leave any words unsaid. Now I think that you hate me, and I'm driving you crazy. Wish I could say forever, but maybe we're better when we're not together. I know that we have to let it go. I can see your eyes close, and I feel like we're drowning. I know that we have to let it go. Can you see my eyes close, and I feel like we're
a bit excited. You see a purple butterfly is flying by. A little tension in your jaw, let your teeth shine. Put on your blue dress, it fits just fine. You go to hell, never coming back. There is nothing as it seems in your requiem for a dream. Halfway through, you start to lose control. Orange autumn leaves on the ground. At the end, there's nothing, and you face yourself. Green is all you see as you fall. You go to hell, never coming back. There is nothing as it seems in your requiem for a dream.
Yellow, sorry.
You go to hell, never coming back. There is
Potato.
nothing as it seems in your requiem for a dream. There is nothing as it seems in your requiem for a dream. In paradise, the sun never goes, it's a feeling. We watch the waves wash over the shore, the horizon was blinding. This could be the end of the world as we know it. Oh, this could be the end of the world as we know it. And we never thought we'd get this far. I'm gonna stay true, these songs I wrote for you. Oh, they make me blue. They make me blue. What did you say to me? You wanted to be free. Do you believe? I want you to believe. I want you to believe. I want you to believe. In paradise we burn through the night, getting brighter. And the sun never goes, and the sun never goes, and the sun never goes, and the sun. This could be the end of the world as we know it. Oh, this could be the end of the world as we know it. And we never thought we'd get this far. I'm gonna stay true, these songs I wrote for to believe. I want you to believe. I'm gonna stay true. These songs I wrote for you, oh, they make me blue. They make me blue. What you say to me? You wanted to be free with you. I want you to believe. I want you to believe. I want you to believe.
Leader, I got my team up. I've been a dreamer. I switched the scene up. I done got that green up. It don't make me fiend up, but they know I'm me with the raps. Call me the fiend up. Every word, smoke up, no lean up in my soda. Fresh and clean, got no hold up. I've been an outcast, me and scared, we told ya.
Let's go.
In that backseat, backseat, move that work, but it ain't no D-R-U-G, M-B-M-U.
It was obviously anime, dude.
Human, if you cut the skin, I bet I bleed. And when my back against the
Sorry. Welcome back to the SO1 close qualifiers to Malaysia 2022. We are watching the European region. Betboom versus Gaimin Gladiators are duking it out in the semi-final. Winner is actually going to go against Entity in the best of 5 grand final. First game went the way of Gaimin Gladiators. I asked them to tweet, how is Betboom going to deal with the personal back? Apparently, easiest way, just ban it. Lol. And so Gaimin Gladiators will have to come up with a different strategy. Instead, they take up the Marcy, which they've had a lot of success with Tofu. And apparently changed drafters halfway through. Celery is just there to pick the draft, pick the Marcy, and then give it to Boom. Interesting. My name is Al Plus. I'll be joined by Dota 2 Bowie for today. Hi, Bowie.
Hello.
Hello, Bowie.
Yeah. I do love what they did here with the Bristle. I just feel like if you're against a team that runs it well, you just stick it out. Because like they tried to ban the pairings. We saw the... What was the other pairing they took out? It was the Dazzle, right? But it's still, like, you don't want to be banning IO Dazzle first. So it's just easier to remove the root cause, which is that Porcupine. They do ban a lot of the Hawk heroes there on the Visage Nature's Prophet. No surprises there. He plays a lot of cheese heroes. And Betboom, honestly, I feel like they should probably go back to the roots that you were talking about. You know, just get that early... Oh, the Kato is also pretty good. Lara loves that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Flex.
I guess
I think they rarely flex the Kato, right?
They don't flex the Cuddle very often, but Gilger does play the Cuddle on Hellraisers, or used to a fair amount, right? So maybe they have a Cuddle combo in mind with Gilger. Obviously, Force Major is their usual 4. I've not seen him play Cuddle on previous teams either, or not commonly, right? But Gilger's a fan. I wouldn't mind seeing the bounty again, man. I know it's crazy, but like if you have the Cuddle, I think this hero has actual value.
I actually agree. I just hope they don't go very early, because I do think it can be abused in lane. That game, like, they just actually first face the Bristle, and eventually you know which lane you're going to be playing in, and the bounty looks amazing. Just don't go super early with it. Oh, okay. They go tiny again.
I mean, this is fine, right? Like, the Tiny Cuddle is a pretty decent combo. I'm assuming it's
I think
tiny
the problem is the flex. Yeah, exactly. Like, you lose the flex of the Kato when you do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Is my only problem.
It's kind of an obvious Tiny 4 now, Kato mid, or maybe Kato 4, Tiny mid. I guess you could do that too. That works, as Kato does enable Tiny really hard.
True. It is true. Although it's been a while since I've seen Laurel play the Tiny, but you're right.
Fair enough.
Conceptually, it's true.
Conceptually, I like that, yeah. Hypothetically, it could happen. Gaimin Gladiators, they go for the favorite lanes of all the Chinese teams, Marcy Razor.
It's OP. It's Marcy, definitely a great sidekick to any offlane. I guess Razor could also be safe lane, depending on how they decide to play this. Most of the time, though, it is our boy Ace playing the Razor. Weaver CK. They're taking a lot of boom heroes here. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, right? You're playing this mid hero that doesn't want gap closers getting on top of him. So you take the Ember, you take the Puck this time because it was not first phase, and do you take the Storm? I don't know. I that's you love to mock me that I'm a hater on mid Zeus, but I feel like in this patch, if you're going to play a mid hero that needs to ban all of those gap closers, you're already at a disadvantage a lot of times. I do feel like there are ways to draft against that. Like you need another hero in your draft that is that can gap close, that can actually play aggressive. Because Puck, Void Spirit, all those heroes, they want to break up the fights, they want to get vision, and they don't die because they are highly farmed, highly leveled, experienced heroes. And the Kato and the Zeus, they just don't do that. That's out of their scope of utility, which is my problem here. But they do have this Tiny that could be able to do that if he has a better game time.
I'm with you to a degree. I think more so on the Kato than the Zeus. I feel like Zeus has such a high damage that it becomes a win condition, so his role is a little bit different, and I can see him fulfilling that. If you get an offlaner that works for that, or a carrier, or a 4, I am sold with your Kato because even though Puck Ember have been like the traditional counters to Kato mid, right? We have also seen in Eastern Europe they've tried the Sanking. That's also an SA special. Miniano loves that, and so does Alone. They've tried the Kunkka as well. No one, we saw that from him yesterday, and it was really effective against Kato. They've tried Tiny mid against Kato. Like there's so many heroes that actually deal with this Kato well in mid nowadays. Now that you know how to play against this lane, that it does not seem as impactful as it used to be.
Yep. Now, what if you run Zeus and Kato in the same team? You were talking about Kato combos, right? Maybe just I guess that's it, right? You could be betting those heroes, you're cosplaying as mid Kato, but then you get Zeus later on, and the Zeus is omega amplified by Kato.
What positions are they playing? Like Zeus 5, Kato mid, Tiny 4?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's kind of garbage.
That is
I don't think. The Hawk probably plays carry Tiny, but that's also garbage.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
it's not great. Sorry, guys. That was kind of a heat of the moment thing.
I love that implication. I got excited about the mid Kato. I thought there was a combo here.
I remember the old days when they introduced not the old days when they introduced the magic resistant thingy on the Kato. He made Zeus strong with him. But they go Enigma instead. I think that is an answer to the Beastmaster that is open, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I think Notice just loves this here. I genuinely think that... I mean, I guess Soneko can also play it, so you're right. I think it does answer to the Beastmaster, but I feel like it is Noticed hero. He does... So what they do very often in Betboom is when they don't feel like Laurel has enough of a win condition, and Kato's definitely not that, right? And the Hawk is going to be the Hawk every game, no matter what. You give Notice something that can scale and can be your win condition. So Enigma and Mars are the two favorites that had a lot of success within Stockholm Major, right? And I think that's the idea behind this.
Yeah. I do like this Dawnbreaker because it flexes the Razor, and if the Enigma is core, you can play Dawnbreaker and you just kill all of the Eidolons. It is... they did actually flex one game recently with Diracho playing the Dawnbreaker, although they did lose. But it seems like a fine Dawnbreaker game. They don't have this like high HP core to lane against, but if you're playing carry, Dawnbreaker, it's not really about that. It's more about just having a good lane, scaling. Oh. Yeah, now they'll probably have to play Dawnbreaker offlane, I think. And Razor carry.
Yeah, because you think it's Enigma 5 and Viper 3 then? Because it could also be Viper 5 Enigma 3, right? That's always an option.
Do they play that on Betboom? Yeah, they can. They definitely
mate, do you play Viper 5? Come on.
Nah, but I think, like, you would rather, like, if there is a chance the Viper is 3... You don't want to be playing the Dawnbreaker. I guess they could swap lanes, right? So there is a chance that you can still play Dawnbreaker and swap lanes, but I just feel like it's... If you don't get the right swap, then you're just so sad the entire game. Viper just kind of crushes Dawnbreaker. I don't think this Wyvern has that much kill potential on Viper as well, because you're not going to be hitting the Splinter Blasts. We'll see.
Yeah, I am with you. You have like Razor that can deal with Enigma and Viper. Like it's okay lane against Enigma with Plasma Field build, and you're good against Viper. And Dawnbreaker could just be off lane, and Ace can just play core anyway. You know, like it's just Ace's job.
Yeah. He does love that hero. And now they're gonna ban. They actually banned Necro, so they. I don't get the Necro ban. But
It's the Hawk, dude. It's the Hawk. They're like, okay, going down the Hawk's
you're
hero pool.
right.
Yeah, that's it.
You're right.
Like, he has a massive hero pool, but these are the hero. Visage, NP, and Necro has been his flavor of the month. He's also been doing Night Stalker, Alk. There's the Alk. And Night Stalker was banned earlier. So there we go. All the flavor of the month, the Hawk heroes. I heard from Seb he was trying something weird. I don't know if it was Dazzle Carry, something like that. Let me check his Dota Pro tracker, actually.
Oh, I would be down for that.
No, he's not going to do it in a pro game. I'm just saying. But he's been doing some odd stuff.
There's still Lone Druid.
Yeah, there's
still
Lone Druid. That's true. Is this a good Lone Druid game, though?
Not really. You can sap the damage from the bear. You have Wyvern.
Void incarnate.
Okay, on his
I really like this Gaming Gladiators draft.
All right.
Seeker.
I guess just the Bloodseeker again. It is a very good Bloodseeker game, though, this time. Actually, legitimately good Bloodseeker game.
It is. It's a fine draft by Betboom, and because they don't have the Bounty Hunter, I feel like their draft is a little bit more stable. Maybe they don't crush the lane as they did, but I also feel like things are going to function a little bit more consistently for them. But yeah, it's going to be the Ace Razor, so it is a Diracho Dawnbreaker. They just have to be careful about the lane swaps then. We're going to see some deep wards, and as long as Diracho gets the lane he wants, he should be good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like you're right about the Viper pick, though. I think it's a little bit of a dangerous thing. By the way, Duracho.
Wait, what?
That's his name, Duracho, not D. It's supposed to be a play on words with Durak, which means fool in Russian. Yeah, the Y in Russian is a U.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a very famous thing for Eastern European players to combine Cyrillic and Latin alphabet to just make fun of us, I suppose. So as far as he told us, because I remember interviewing about this, it's supposed to be Duracho, and it's supposed to be a play on words on Durak again, because he's called the Fool. It's a very aggressive carry. That's how they called him in LANs, or in LAN cafes rather.
He's such a kind guy. I'm sure I actually call him Diracho 10 times in his face.
Mate, his teammates call him that. That's how you know.
Oh.
Yeah. He said it was Duracho. I don't know if it's supposed to be Durakio, but he did. That's how he told me. So I'm just gonna assume. He also has a great Instagram, by the way, if you guys want to follow. Looking for followers.
Really?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Are there some thirst traps?
No. He's a dope pro Dota player.
I mean, you said it was a dope Instagram.
Yeah, it's a dope Instagram. He shares food, and he shares Dota plays, and he shares his face. What else do you want?
That's good enough. That's good enough. I'll wait for the OnlyFans later.
There you go.
All right, so this game all about actually figuring these lanes out. Both teams gonna smoke. I really feel. Oh, you can see the tip here from Notice. So looks like some. Okay, not sure if it feels like random tips. I was like, oh, maybe there's some beef in there, but they're just tipping anyone.
Yeah, there's no beef. There's no beef. These are teams. They're good people. They play pubs. From my understanding, from every pro player I talked to that plays in EU, the Gaming Gladiators guys, at least most of them, are like the nicest people to play pubs with because they're not very toxic and they play good. They play well, sorry. And Soneko and the Hawk are some of the nicest people to play pubs with as well. But the worst people to play pubs against because, in Seb's word, they are incredibly sweaty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What sweaty stands for?
Like try hard, you know, like they want to win every single pub. They try so hard. They play such a solid Dota, right? So they're good teammates to have. Always fun with them. Yeah. Gilger apparently is also really sweet in pubs as well. He also changes his hairstyle depending on his MMR, so always fun to see him.
Oh, really?
No, I just made that up. It's just every interview that we had in DPC, he always changed his hair color, and he would be like, "Do you guys like my new hair color?" Yeah, Gilger. Yeah, sure.
Okay, I just see purple here. All right.
Yeah, that was his last one. Gilger.
And blue.
He is going to die, though. I wonder if that forces him to change again. Oh, Ace gets the first blood. Pretty good for Ace. And they are going to try to avoid that Viper lane by putting Razor top. It's gonna work out. Ace back to carry, boys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that is... The only problem here is that he did go for static link, which means... Sure, he can sap the damage, but Viper's still going to be doing a ton with that poison attack. If he gets tossed back, he could also die. But there is Avalanche level 1 on Gilger, so that only comes at level 2.
Yeah.
And...
honestly, I think first 3 levels on Razor, like until you get level 3, he's kind of a weak hero. Like, he's okay as a laner, obviously, but he's not the Razor that everyone thinks about. So I don't think it really matters what points you get early. Maybe Plasma Field is better for securing last hits, I'll give you that, but I don't think you should go for kills anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just mean that because they don't have a support that can get the range creeps. It would be nice to have Plasma Field, but they did use the link to get a kill.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth it. He also got first blood for that.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's useful. Then against Viper, I do think you do max static field in this, or sorry, static link in this lane.
Yeah, at least I could see the third point. I think the fourth is stretching. But...
Okay, right, sure. Yeah, that's fair enough. Because lane only goes until level like 6 or so, right? So I guess yeah.
Okay, so Enigma 5. That hero. I used to be a big Enigma 5 enjoyer. These days, I feel like the meta changed quite a bit. I feel like if you're amazing, which Seneco definitely is, the hero can work. But it feels like this Bloodseeker, even though this is a good Bloodseeker game, he might just not lane as well, and I think this hero is heavily reliant on having a good lane. I wonder how much Seneco's going to be able to do here.
I'm with you. Bloodseeker's lane tends to be countered by people with like high kill potential, right? Because he heals a lot, but if you just go on him, he can't really do much to answer you. And Dawnbreaker is probably the queen of that. As you can see here, like, you just hammer, you attack him, and if you have Starbreaker at this point, like, he just dies, right?
Yeah, the Wyvern doesn't help either, because you're always doing that percentage damage. The Hawk is going to heal, but you lose a lot of that HP with Arctic Torn and the spam of the Spinner Blast. And in the past, because you could just buy a lot of salves as Enigma, it didn't matter that much, but now with the salve nerf, that's probably the biggest nerf to Enigma that people don't talk about. Enigma 5.
Yeah, it's true, actually. I can consider that. Enigma 5 that also feels like it has little purpose because now they got the right lineup against Viper. They got the Enigma 5 doesn't counter anything particular, right? Whereas it would have been okay against Razor because you deny farm and make it so his lane isn't that great. Against Dawnbreaker, since she can just get kills to recover. You talked about how good this matchup is for the Dawnbreaker as well.
Yep. Mid though, Kato is farming and will farm. This is a game where I think Laro's the win condition even more than the Bloodseeker, just because the way the lanes were set up.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think they should have tried to swap the lanes if you were Betboom? Or is it just not worth it in this current meta?
Yeah, it really feels like it's not worth it. I rarely see, even like the, Quincy's and OGs, you rarely see that the like moving cores and walking, losing to creep waves. Seneco, very low. Should be fine.
Yeah, I'm watching Duracho trying to win this lane. The Hawk. He is nearby. He's bringing the creeps together. He wants to keep the creep equilibrium. Okay. But every time he gets close to the creeps, he gets hit by Splinter Blast. There's no Starbreaker just yet. Duracho just maximizing that farm. The hammer to avoid the blood right, not going to succeed, and they don't actually hit the Hawk with a return hammer, so big damage loss there.
Yeah, pretty slow game. This Viper just wants to keep the equilibrium the way it is right now. That is good. Even though the Viper is struggling in CS, I do feel like he's getting some decent levels, and this hero really cares about that. Once he gets level 5, there could be kill potential here on Ace. Once Tiny also gets level 3, which should be now.
Yeah, okay, let's see if they go for it. Gilgert just got it.
Problem is that Marcy... I mean, Marcy is really
tough.
good to have in a tiny lane. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just dispose, and you're good.
Yeah, it does feel like... look, Tofu was actually looking for it. I mean, you dispose into the static link, I think Tiny dies, right? So it's kind of a difficult situation.
Like, the lanes of Gaming Gladiators are so good. I don't know. I feel like the drafting here from Betboom... I really like the bristle band that they went for in the first phase, but, you know, we did talk about this Tiny Caudle and the thing we didn't like. And it just feels like all of the side lanes on Gaming Gladiators are amazing. This Caudle has to deliver so much. There's a lot of pressure on Laurel's shoulders. And he's an old man. His shoulders are not like they used to be.
Yeah, he's also the essence of light, though, so I guess he has an unlimited master he can take for himself. I do think at least you got not the worst matchup mid. Like, Void Spirit can kill Caudle, but it's not to the degree we've seen these strength cores that just jump him, right? Gilgert took that arcane rune. Can we try to kill him? Dispose is available, but nobody's rotating to help Tofu. Duracho in the bottom lane. Go the Hawk. Go the Hawk. Oh no, Duracho. He got body blocked there. Advance are here too. And the trees Duracho goes. Will he find the right path? Apparently he does, because Boom is already here. And Betboom, they smell it.
No, they do. They have that ward, that sneaky ward in the mid lane. Oh, that's good. They waste Boom's TP. Top lane.
Top lane, that was a massive dispose for Notice. Ace, though, not dealing enough damage as yet. Might die to the poison attack. Oh, the heals from Psychic actually keeping him alive. Gilgert going for the last toss, but Ace will barely live. That Psychic heal actually massive for this Razor.
Yeah, dude, that's your 40% lifesteal level 2. Very balanced spell, and wow.
I thought, you know, with Plasma Field alone, sorry, with Static Link alone, he's not quite killing the Viper fast enough. He'll tick down to Poison Attack. Even if he gets the kill, not that big a deal. But Psychic, man, what a spell. This is why the Chinese teams have been so eager to run this lane. Though, Gaming Gladiators have, in multiple occasions, run this in the safe lane. So even though this is a particular occasion to deal with a Viper, it's not uncommon for them to just run Razor carry with Marcy 4. Or sorry, Marcy 5.
True. Not gonna lie, I actually feel like it would be better for Ace if he died there, because he would already be in the lane. At the end of the day, even though the Viper died, he actually is like, that's the second wave he's benefiting from. But it feels like they want to give Marcy the lane now, and Razor's jungling.
You also have to think of the Chad points this gives Ace, right? Of not dying there and surviving with 9 HP. Like, now his team respects him more.
Oh, for sure. His team and Betboom respect him more. It's like, we're not going for Ace. We're gonna have to kill Void Spirit. They do get the Rupture there.
Betboom. He's gonna be illuminated. Okay, he dies. It's important, especially because the Hawk and Ace both played on NAP, remember, as their carry. They were both the weird carries that NAP was trying out. Both with like these very curious hero pools, right? So it's important for Ace to assert his dominance over the Hawk, to show him that he's become an offlaner by choice, not because he was forced to.
Yeah, we're definitely getting to a point where I think it was Gork that was saying that like now offlaners have too much ego and pubs are even harder to play because of Omar, and like you don't have to say you're an offlaner by choice anymore, because now it's kind of hype to be an offlaner.
That's true. You know? So Ace is in the hype position. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Exactly.
Well, at least in my experience with Ace, Ace is an incredibly humble dude. Very Nordic personality for him, right? Like very, you know, kind of that quiet, reserved, cheerful. At least for what I see for Danish people.
Definitely a stoic sort of guy. Now we do see Boom here, kind of poking into their jungle. He's gonna get Rupture. Yeah, he will. No TP on this guy. I think he's.
Okay, the toss. This time it works. This was the combo we asked for last time, and Boom gets killed twice. And we're seeing now the Caudle starting to soar in terms of net worth. This is why I wanted a better matchup mid, right? Like Boom, yes, he's a good Void Spirit. Yes, he can catch the Caudle potentially, but it's not a destructive combo against Caudle, like say a Kunkka can.
True, very true. And I mean, the Kato is doing amazing. He's almost doubling in terms of CS. He's gonna get that vessel we talked about. Power is falling. Even the Tiny seems to be having a better game. Very promising so far.
Take the tower, so Neko at least taking advantage of this Eidolon push. Celery calmly flying to the trees will avoid any sort of aggression. I love this set phrase, by the way. This octopus razor set. It's very good.
Yeah, I love the celery set as well. Those beautiful colors.
Yeah, the prismatic, I think it's called.
Pretty much all the possible hair.
We get distracted by the colors, Bowie. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm so sorry, guys. Viper doesn't have pretty colors. In fact, Viper set is ugly, so it's kind of hard to look at her.
Boom, taking that tower, so they're gonna mimic here. Doesn't feel like Boom is in any rush to defend. I mean, this is gonna be kind of a slow game until there's Vessel on Laro. Like, all of their power spikes take a while. You know, there's no Maelstrom on the Bloodseeker. The Blink on Tiny is gonna take ages. Might be a snooze fest until we actually get to see those items. Yep. Or Tofu goes on the Bloodseeker. But looks like he's just being a stalker.
Yeah, he needs Boom with him to be able to actually get kills, right? And Void Spirit, I think... Oh, Boom is not going for the Witchblade, but actually going for Kaya. Interesting. Why? Is he thinking Kaya and Sanj to tank more?
Yes, I think it's probably just for the Rupture status resistance.
Okay, fair. I guess you're so nullified that Witchblade is not as worth it, but don't you lose a lot of kill potential on Ducato if you don't go Witchblade?
I think so, but maybe they just feel like Hiracho.
Black hole for Celery. It is a position 5 black hole, so not as impactful, which is why you wasted on the enemy position 5. Yeah, there's no chance Celery's getting away. Good try, though.
And that is Vessel for Laro. Very, very good game for him so far. Has all of the gold, but a lot of times, you know, the problem with Kato is not really the acquiring the gold, but using the gold meaningfully. Let's see how much he's going to be able to do with it.
Right. And once we get the BKB on Ace, I think that's going to really test the Kato, right? They can now, they will be able to play around him. Armlet's coming up on Duracho soon as well. That will help a lot. Gilgar Blink is still pretty far away, so Betboom hasn't hit any big items. And, oh, noticed, went for a Midas. I did not expect this on the Viper offlane.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I mean, their game is so slow that it really feels like they don't want to go for aggressive plays. And you were talking about Blink. Our boy Tofu, one creep away from the Blink, and that's when their draft kind of starts to explode. The Kaya ready on the Void Spirit. Oh, he's going E-Blade. Okay. I'm not sure I get why.
You're my analyst, Bowie, so I need you.
I mean...
Oh, wait, sorry.
He's dying a lot.
He did the zip zap. 2 astral steps. Second one was not as fast, though. Or not as far.
Mm-hmm. That's the...
Zigzag, sorry. Not zip zap. That's
scared. Yeah, that's the I'm scared astral step.
Oh, so, yeah. So what do you think of the E-Blade? Give me some theory crafting. Purge it up for me, please.
Well, E-Blade gives you magic amplification, and
you don't have to imitate his voice. I just want the analysis, buddy.
I don't like the E-Blade. I think they don't have that much magic amp to amplify. I don't think the right clicks are that particularly strong this game. It's not like they're just a void or something. But this could be a game where he changes his mind. A lot of times you see, you know, E-Blade's being killed up and you go for something else. We do see Wyvern die, but they want to smoke with the Tofu Blink. Let's see if they can get a Kato pickoff would be the dream.
What? Sorry. We're just going to see this pickoff first, maybe, and then I'll ask you the question, which is going to put you in an awkward spot. Kato? Oh, okay.
I'm always awkward, so don't worry.
Boom. Nope. As defensive astral step, as he realizes his position, dissimulate. Solar Bind, though, still on him. They missed at least the avalanche. Second astral step, TP's in the middle of this. Oh, they tried to blinding light him so they can toss him, but unfortunately not in time, and Tofu is good enough with his blink. What do you think of the percentage chance that he finishes that E-Blade, Bowie?
Oh, nice. 17%.
Oh, wow. You really So you go
Yeah.
from 7Ds to 17. I see, Bo.
Yeah. I don't think.
You heard it, chat.
really.
17%. All right. Boom, you know what you gotta do. You know what you gotta do this game, Boom.
The only time I ever cast EU finals, and here am I betting a 17% chance. But yeah, I mean, this game is very awkward, right? Like, it feels like both teams, they don't have a particular early timing they're really striving for. Midas on the Viper. Sure, they do have that blink on top of that. By the way, they finally get Laurel. The ward he actually placed in the ground during that runaway. Oh, there we go. That ward was so clutch.
Yeah, this ward is what they're referring to.
Yep. As he was running away.
Yeah, well done. And actually, Boom continues forward, hoping for Gilgir. The avalanche got wasted, but he gets tossed back. Noticed? Starts spinning on him, realizes that's not going to do much, and they're going to have to sacrifice Gilgir, it seems like, as Tofu has disposed ready. Psychic used to amplify the Wind Rider's attacks. Gilgir running into trees. Ace, though, just comes by, says hi, attacks him once. He's a nice guy, doesn't want to quite kill him, but in the end, he's going to have to see Gilgir's blood, or whatever Tiny has inside.
I'm pretty sure it's not blood. Probably calcium?
That's a good one, Bo. Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. Drinks a lot of milk.
Okay, he bought the Ghost Scepter, buddy.
Oh my
17% chat, 17%.
I just... Okay, so let me try harder here. Let me try harder and realize what's going on. So, I get it. He actually had a fighter celery, and he's like, buddy, I'm so pissed at you that once you Winter's Curse, I will E-blade the target that you Winter's Curse.
I'm glad we got you for this high level analysis. I would have never been able to figure out the intricacies of the team. Thank you so much for that.
Oh. At the end of the day, dude, Dota is a mental game. Dota is a mind game, and sometimes you're just mad at Celery because he ate the last Twix that you had in your fridge, and this is not sponsored by Twix, by the way.
I don't think Celery eats those things. He's a very healthy eater, actually. What is all?
You're actually right. Also, I have a question for you because you travel a lot, and I'm assuming you lived in the US or went to the US at least one time.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so. Sunsfan is of the opinion that the European Twix is much worse than the American one. And I think that's so wrong, and I wanted to pick your brain on that.
I think chocolate in the US in general is it's not very good.
So
the chocolate
right?
itself.
It's awful.
I do think chocolate bars are tasty because they have like sugar and stuff, but I feel like chocolate in general is pretty bad. It's like just not real chocolate. It doesn't taste that way. Maybe it's just my cultural bias though. I don't know. Gilgir. There's the avalanche used here. Blinding light though. Oh, separates his team fight, and Tofu's now in a pickle. Tofu trying to hit creeps to heal back up, but the sidekick was already off. So he gets killed off. This is one of the issues of when you play the Marcy this way. I think this is the preferred build always, which is maxing Psychic and utilizing the Unleash to kill people. But that Unleash gives you the spell, so you can't get rid of the Solar Bind. There we go, E-Blade completed, Bowie, as noticed. Gets gone on, a lot of damage. Astral Step Mark, though, will not be enough, as the E-Blade gets off right in time, so Notice can survive.
Yeah, another interesting thing we didn't talk about, there's an Aegis on this Viper. So they don't give it to the Coddle, they don't give it to the Bloodseeker.
We kind of ignored that. I mean, look, I'm just trying not to look at Viper's items because between the Midas and the Aegis, I know I joke that they kind of play him as a win condition, but this is like full on. This is a carry Viper at this point, you know, like.
It really is. I guess they're like, okay, there's gonna be a BKB on the Hawk, and there's gonna be a BKB on the Coddle, so we'll use the Viper.
Yeah,
very interesting decisions, and those BKBs are actually getting pretty close. Also, Enigma has been AFK for so long that he got a Wraith Pact. The timings are coming, and it's not like Gaming Gladiators pressure them way too much.
Okay. Well played by Gaming Gladiators. Thank God they didn't lose anyone there. Ace is also, by the way, looking for this kill on Gilgir, or maybe just pushing the lane. Hard to tell. Gilgir is alone. Of course, Ace does not know this because the enemy team has only revealed 2 heroes up top. There we go. A TP. They're actually going for this kill. Once they reveal 3 up top, but Durachu is a little bit too late with the ultimate. Gilgir tips him, and that will be the mental damage that Betboom was looking for.
Beautiful. Yeah, his blink. Dude, there's so many things actually coming from Betboom. I think it's going to be a scary 5 minutes as soon as they finish all that. The BKBs, the blink, this Enigma. totally online. We'll get level 2 ult with this wave. I'm kind of scared for Gaming Gladiators. It felt like they had a really good start, but the Midas on the Viper was never punished. They kind of gave Roche away.
True.
And I know I kind of bashed on them game 1, and then they kind of turned up as soon as I started complaining. So maybe this is just me setting up for not the greatest look. We'll see though. Top tower falling.
This time their scaling is certainly more equal with Gaming Gladiators, right? If not better altogether.
Yeah.
Because you have Black Hole as team fight, which is maybe better than Golem. The Bloodseeker also scales nicely, and the Razor's pretty counter with the Rupture. I'm going to see here. And the Black Hole cancels the TP. Well done. Ace is now in a pickle. BKB don't still on him. They use the Viper Strike. Ace fighting on against Bloodseeker. And unfortunately, that's not going to be enough to kill him. And then Tofu now has to run away, but the poison attacks will chase after him, allowing Betboom to get 2 kills here. That lane dies together.
Yeah, really good Black Hole. It feels like all of the Black Holes from Sonico have been on point. He didn't have the greatest lane, but I'm not entirely sure why Gaming Gladiators played as passive as they did, but it really allowed everyone on Betboom that had a bad lane to recover. The Viper, the Midas, as you talked about, will have a BKB very soon. He actually pretty much has it if he disassembles the Dragonlance, and with these 3 BKBs, I don't think Betboom does that much. You know, the E-Blade on the Void Spirit, I don't see the value.
Yep.
The Wyvern is the only counter they have to all of that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, it feels the win opportunity for Betboom when they all hit those BKB timings around the Bloodseeker, right? It's going to be huge. And usually this is the massive timing for any Bloodseeker lineup. And for Gaming Gladiators, their timings were like just before that, right? So they had to take advantage of that. And it didn't feel like they did that too much. Perhaps they were afraid of the Rupture, because we're seeing Lincoln's now being built on the Razor. Perhaps they didn't think Armlet on the Rupture was enough to actually go and take these fights. He's now finishing up Desolator. So maybe we're going to see a strong team fight now, right? Maybe they think they can counter Betboom's team fight. But it is true that we didn't see the usual ganks we see around the Razor BKB or the Blink Dagger on Marcy we were talking about.
Also very surprising, the Enigma was level 12, and he chose not to learn Black Hole. Interesting. I usually feel like getting the faster ones better, but he doesn't have Blink, so maybe he feels like he's really not gonna be getting a lot of chances to cast the spell anyways. And they find Duracho, but he will be out.
Push the top lane now, taking advantage of Idolence. I mean, the Viper, again, still has the Aegis on his inventory. Not like it has been used too much. It's kind of the farming Aegis, pressure Aegis, I guess you can call it. But the Gaming Gladiator is not really keen on making moves, as we just see the BKB finally on Laurel. That Aegis, it should be mentioned, did really stop Gaming Gladiator's timings as well, right? They could have fought against that Aegis, but Wisdom says, probably don't do that. Which is another explanation as to why it was so much slower for them this game.
Yeah, I also feel like, even though there's only 2 deaths on Boom, and you could say, like, his score is fine, but he died, like, twice in a row during the 10-minute mark, which really slowed down his timings. I feel like he's the hero that was supposed to kind of initiate a lot of those fights, and then Dawnbreaker would just play around with the Solar Guardian.
Yeah.
So, kind of tough for Boom. He didn't have he had a really good lane, but then just died twice, and probably that slowed his timings down quite a bit. Smoke, though, from Gaming Gladiators. No Aegis, no Black Hole. This could be a good fight.
This could be a good fight, yep. Also hit a couple of times that Blink Dagger on the Winter Wyvern. He still has his BKB here. That's the 8 seconds, though. Okay, Smoke immediately stopped. Gonna try to burst out Soneko, and it works out. However, this Void Spirit in trouble himself as the Rupture is on him. He can't get away, so he's gonna die for the Enigma. I don't know how worth it that Black Hole is. We'll see. The Hawk activates the BKB, fights the Rupture head on. He knows he can beat him 1v1, and he will do so with an Ace. Last core remaining. Your friends are dead, Ace. Where are you going? He activates BKB. The Hawk. Okay, the Hawk, where are you going, actually? The Hawk is hitting creeps, trying to get the thirst heal. But unfortunately, that's not enough. And Ace is going to just TP in the face of danger. The Connell was nowhere to be seen because he had to go back earlier. And the Hawk taking an interesting route there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a really good time to smoke, but they find the worst target possible. Like, the Boom sacrifices himself for a 5 Enigma that had no Black Hole, so it really doesn't does it make the fight easier? Still, because they get the Bloodseeker, it's like okay, but still Betboom favored. They have the Midas, they have the scaling support on the Enigma. I still feel like they have the upper hand. 70% chance to win, I would say.
How much does the okay? I see. That's the meme of this series. How much does the Viper, or how much can the Viper scale in this match? Like, can he actually become a threat in the late game? Ever since they took the attack damage talent, I'm not really sure.
For sure, like he actually got lucky with the Grove Bowl drop. Just having Sky eventually will kite this Razor really hard.
Okay.
It feels like a great Viper game. They don't have a lot of enough burst damage to him. Maybe that's why the E-Blade was purchased. But usually, like, you don't care too much about offlane Vipers. In this game, though, because he got away with this Midas, he has definitely become a threat.
He's been farming a lot as well in this game. So, like, he's been taking a lot of space from the team. As you can notice by the fact that the Hawk, well, he's not, he's not struggling at farming. He's just giving a lot of the space to the Viper, and they're actually equal as a result.
Yeah, and the Enigma also wants to dethrone him. He is getting a lot of that farm as well. And the Gaming Gladiator heroes, it's not like they are under farm, because obviously the gold advantage is minimal, but I do feel like they don't use gold as much as Betboom will.
Yep. And to go back to the E-Blade point, by the way, that we were talking about earlier, it seems like the idea is to stop the black hole by just bursting him down quickly, right? But as we saw in the last fight, it just makes you really vulnerable to Rupture. But I guess that means Razor's freer in the fights, so is it all that bad?
I mean, he is a position too. I do like. He already died so much. He's under a ward, by the way.
Okay, send him back. We still have the black hole potentially here for the Enigma, but unfortunately, he's just gonna die to his ultimate. Looker in a similar position. Bloodright won't cover him enough, and that's 2 supports dead for Betboom. It's giving Gladiators force Betboom under the tower.
All right, good ward by Gaming Gladiators. I was afraid that the Betboom ward was going to be a problem for Void Spirit, but they had a better ward in the high ground there. And this could even be a tier 3 tower. Still though, only the support's dying, and we could see a Roche being scouted. Oh, that's gonna be perfect. Oh,
they just scout.
Oh no!
Oh no, they missed it. Oh no!
Oh man!
Okay, that was
that's
no.
so unlucky. Because they did use BKB, right? The BKB. Oh no, Razor didn't use the BKB.
No, and I think that's the most important one.
Yeah.
Okay, noticed could be in trouble here. No, they're actually, sorry, they're joining him. My bad. That's obviously the enemy outpost. They're actually just setting up for Roche here. The Hawk scouts it. There we go. Well played. Just based on the timings itself. We have Basher on the Hawk too. And this rush comes with Shard, which I hope they give to the Hawk.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be him. Although Viper, with all of that attack range, isn't bad either. He gets it. He gave way too much farm away for these guys, and now he wants his paycheck. There's a haste on the Void Spirit.
Notice. Activates his own BKB. That's going to allow him to get out safely, but that's the BKB now on cooldown. Can Betboom take advantage of this? We'll see. Ags on Boom as well. Huge amount of magic damage now.
Oh, look, click on the Enigma. He actually has the Wraith Pact in the backpack because he doesn't want to reveal his positioning, I think. So he doesn't want to give the aura away.
Oh, that's actually very clever.
Huh.
I like this. I mean, you push slower, I suppose, but if you can surprise them black hole.
Yeah, he did die twice in the last fight, so he's now overcompensating here. He wants to make sure he doesn't get found. Okay, he finally is back, because obviously he cast a spell there, he was there. I have a feeling this game's gonna go very long, Avo.
Okay.
It might be here for a while.
Alright. I don't know, I think 1 or 2 big fights for either team, and that's huge. What did Tofu just blink in place for? I don't know why.
He's just testing the...
He's testing the blink, okay. So Nico almost checked Roche a second time. He's like, bro, I have ages. They smoke. They're preparing themselves. Oh, maybe they want to also considering smoking the Roche pit. Jokes aside, maybe that was the play.
Lara's gonna get a side of ice, so that's probably when we'll see Betboom actually utilizing these ages to get some extra tier 2s, maybe go for a smoke. That's also a psychic headband. That's the dream.
Yeah, that for Wyvern?
For the Coddle.
Oh, for Coddle. Okay.
I have, what is it? 375. There's like extra 500 cast range on his side of ice.
Yeah, true. Tofu. He revealed the smoke. Great positioning by Tofu. And this stops Betboom's plans. And in fact, Gaimin Gladiators, they could wrap around somewhat as they catch Kilker from behind. Kilker is going to find the Winter Wyvern. Also Boom. On the first Kilker, harder to first hit down, but with the help of the Dawnbreaker, it might still be possible. As in comes Duracho, finishes off Kilker. Now they lost their Tiny. The Hog wants to fight him head on, and the Black Hole is just trying to stop Ace. They want to make sure Duracho dies, and in fact they can't. The Cold Embrace saves him. It's the Hog who's fighting Ace head on, and he loses first life. Now finally finishing off Duracho with an Illuminate. That's the Hawk coming in for round 2, but no Rupture available to him. No way to catch up to the enemy, so poison attacks on the Tofu. That's going to be what does it. However, Dispose punches the Viper. Boom comes in again. The BKBs are up. Everyone wants to fight this Winter's Curse to try to give him a little bit more space to run away. Astro Step in a second. Boom is down on the low ground. TPs. And he knows that Betboom can't really chase, and their BKBs are about to run out. Or they now run out. In fact, Ace takes advantage of this, goes for Notice. He has a Blink Dagger himself. Notice in trouble. They save him with a Blinding Light and an Avalanche. Maybe not the best combination, but worked out overall.
Yeah, that was... I was kind of surprised that Gaimin Gladiators didn't take a better fight, because they have that ward in the mid area that they just placed before the fight started, and they had one in the cliff. So that was a totally blind fight for Betboom, but they still did so well. They're very tanky, and I think their heroes just are scaling a little bit more. But now they want to smoke again, even without the Dawnbreaker. Interesting. Did they use all of the BKBs on Betboom? The Viper did, the Bloodseeker did, and the Coddle did. Oh, they're not gonna find anyone.
Nope. I mean, in the case of Gaimin Gladiators, they also used a lot of the resources, right? Which is why. I mean, the difference between the BKBs is around 20 seconds. There's a lot of resetting of these fights from both sides, right? Whether the Black Hole or the Winter's Curse, and it seems like both teams are trying to go for one single objective and trying to keep the others busy. And it's difficult to play that way because you're essentially sacking someone to kill someone else. It's always a trade.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Well, I mean, this Viper is getting so fat. I really feel like he's gonna start becoming... He's already a big problem, but when I look at the heroes inside of Gaimin Gladiators, the Razor is very farmed, but I feel like they actually have really good ways to deal with him. You have defensive tosses, you have even the Rupture that doesn't really allow him to keep chasing. The Black Hole is another thing. There's Blink now on Sunico. It's not an easy game for Gaimin Gladiators. I think I really like their draft, but the passiveness in the mid game just made this game really weird.
Yeah, I agree. I feel, I mean, they still have some scaling on the Razor though, and the Dawnbreaker, even if they don't scale as hard as other traditional carries. You're up against Bloodseeker, which I think is kind of even in that sense. I am afraid of what happens when Bloodseeker hits level 25, and the double Rupture charges start to destroy Gaimin Gladiators, you know? One for Void Spirit, one for Razor, and then you feel, or one for Dawnbreaker, one for Void Spirit, you know?
Yeah.
He might even go Refresher.
Also, another thing that the Dawnbreaker ended up going for that early Dasso. It felt like Duracho didn't really get that many opportunities to get those charges. Only 4 extra damage on the Dasso. Wasn't really a part of a lot of fights. But it's probably because Void Spirit is dying a lot, and he doesn't really feel safe going in, and they don't have any other hero to go in. I guess Tofu is that hero, but if none of the cores wants to really play aggressively, then there's no point for the Marcy to go in.
That's fair. And Marcy, that by the way, this game decided to go for a much more initiator-like build, right? Last time we saw Tofu going for the BKB as a first item, or sorry, second item. Not the case this time.
Okay. Alright, time for a smoke here. They TP, there's no wards. Let's go. Am I fake hyping? Okay, I really thought that...
Man, that's my job, buddy. That's my job. Please, do not take my role.
Alright, let me do my dumb roll then. Do you like Tofu?
Oh, no, I don't know, Gilger. Run, Gilger. Pretend like this never happened. Okay. All good. Mental reset, Gilger. Clear comms.
Alright.
Now, Bowie, now you analyze me this. Why did he miss the avalanche, Bowie?
Well, because he is using chicken legs instead of an actual tree. Chicken legs are not very aerodynamic. It's kind of prone to...
Talking about chicken,
like
they turned Duracho into a pork, tried to finish him off, forced his BKB TP instead. Celery also got forced to arc the bird away because the avalanche missed again from Gilger. Didn't really see what happened.
I'm not a big fan of this Dota match. It's
what's that comment, mate?
It really feels like none of the teams really have an idea of what their draft is supposed. Like, I think Betboom, they're in totally chill mode. They feel like they're gonna infinitely scale. And the Gaimin Gladiators, even though they feel like they should be doing more, they are not a team that usually panics and just YOLO stuff. And because of that, the game's just this eternal wait that I really don't feel like it benefits Gaimin Gladiators, but it's kind of a hard equation to solve. They will smoke on smoke action, by the way. Roche, even whatever happens this fight, I don't think it's gonna matter that much because Roche is not gonna spawn in between the respawn timers. But we could see a hype fight nonetheless.
Gaimin Gladiators. They just tried to breach the high ground. Notice there's the guard in the high ground. Notice there's Toss BKB, but hasn't activated quite yet. Wraith Pact to protect him a little bit. He did take 2/3 of his HP and damage though. Notice, do not farm now. Okay. I guess he's healing back with a Wraith Pact. Yeah, no, this is lifesteal. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and it's just... It's hard for everyone, because like the Enigma, he doesn't want to be initiating. Like on the side of Betboom, it's really hard. It's hard for both sides to initiate, and so the fights are always kind of broken down like this. They want to poke, they want to force a spell, and they force the Wraith Pact, but it's not enough for Gaimin Gladiators to really go all out. So we're gonna see everything reset again.
Oh,
and
that's an observer,
it's just a stalemate.
What? Oh, I actually can't click again. Oh, no, it's a sentry. Okay, it's fine. So they don't see this ward.
Wait.
So Betboom, the Hawk is just near the ward to like say I could deny it. And there goes Tofu. There you go.
Oh no.
That was the play all along, but they knew he was coming by. They even used the Wraith Pact to prevent some damage, but Tofu gets saved by the healing from Duracho. That's to get rid of the Wraith Pact first, because Ace actually is the one to die. Duracho goes for the backlines, but now he's being chased by the Hawk. Rupture already got used, however. Duracho might still suffer his Bastion. They're trying to bait out the BKB, and the black hole from behind catches Boom. A little bit more damage. Just falls, gets him out of the black hole, but Boom dies regardless. Now Betboom can chase after the Marcy, but decides better to just go for objective. Objective game, Betboom. Keep it simple. Go for the tier 2. That's what they're gonna do. Not even using Blood Rage on the Hawk to not lose any more HP. Oh, they actually go for the Roche instead because it just spawned. That's the right play. That fight took so long to happen that the Roche actually spawned. That was 2 minutes since we last said, oh, they're looking for a fight now.
Exactly. But yeah, they finally get the good jump, and they even get the Dispo save, but it was a little bit too late. He was not in position. And that's the thing. I think Tofu ended up in this role where he doesn't want a beta when initiating because he understands how powerful his hero is against the black hole. But I think that plays into Betboom's advantage anyways, because they just have everyone on their team scales pretty much infinitely. Even this Tiny, he is under farm now. But if this takes 60 minutes, we will see him getting the shard, maybe an Echo Saber. He could not even finish this Usurper if he wants to.
Yeah. I mean, the team fight is looking a little better for Betboom. It feels like everything has to go right for Gaimin Gladiators. You talked about this a little bit, right? The Winter's Curse is crucial now from Celery, and you guys still have some counter initiation from Gaimin Gladiators, but now that Solar Guardian feels much more lackluster, the Marcy also doesn't feel like it does as much, right? So Betboom has easier time taking these 5-on-5 engagements. I still think the cores can scale on Gaimin Gladiators, but the team fight is a problem. Maybe we're going to start to see hexes on these guys, like just add some more stuns to these people. Maybe dissimilate as well. The talent at level 25 can help the Void Spirit.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't mind, especially, I mean, even the Razor, he has the Overwhelming Blink queued up, but once he finishes that, he also has a Refresher, so a lot of value coming from the Scythe. Could sell that Wraith Band, that is the last slot he can technically sell.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm super sold on the Overwhelming Blink over not any other item, honestly. Even AC, I wouldn't mind here.
Yeah. I really feel like this Void Spirit could also go
He hit the Avalanche, Bowie! He did it! And now Celery's in trouble. Lotus Storm is not going to save him from this Viper, who keeps on spinning. Keeps on spinning. The shard's not up on the Viper, but won't matter against Celery. There's Notice manages to get this kill. Even being efficient towards the end, not wasting mana on extra poison attacks. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Very efficient man indeed. And
pause time.
Okay.
Yes, Bowie. Yes. This is one of the many positives of this game. It's part of the fun of watching these teams play. Now, Bowie. Do you feel like this Void Spirit has had the impact you expected from him this game?
Not really. And it's surprising, because I really feel like Boom, he is one of my favorite, and I would say one of the best mid laners in EU, even though Gaimin Gladiators are struggling in this season, as you can see. But yeah, it definitely, I think he got unlucky as well, because his lane was good, but he just died twice. He he had a break of consciousness, bought the E-Blade. It happens. Sometimes his decisions are made. I think ideally they had a timing that never really happened, where they felt like, we're going to get the E-Blade with the Solar Guardian, that's enough damage to burst anyone. But it didn't really happen. This Caudle. Usually you don't see Caudles just being 38 minutes in, only dying once when there's that much gap close, Marcy, Void Spirit. But really nice game by Laura. It feels like he was already in the right position.
Enigma, okay, this is the attempt. On the supports, they can still die here, and that's going to be the black hole down for this team fight. And they want to force a team fight, mind you. And apparently, it's Betboom who actually wants to force it. Durancho activates the Starbreaker, can't run away from the Hawk here. He'll eventually just fall using the armor toggle to actually try to run away further. But the Hawk doesn't care, just chases you down. Find the Caudle this time. This might be a death on Caudle. We have BKB still on Laurel though. Runs away, avoiding the stuns, but Razor does not care about that BKB, and in fact Tofu will be the one to finish him off. As Nolan starts to spit on Tofu, the Hawk without a BKB can't be so certain of this fight, so he has to play around the trees, play away from vision, not get caught by surprise. There's no Winter's Curse on Celery because he just wasted out Lincoln's, and Celery goes up to the high ground. The Hawk actually stopped by the trees. Notice, he's not the one with the Aegis. He eats the cheese though, and that's going to help him keep him alive. As A starts to TP, the Hawk needs the Basher. Needs to bash. Won't get it in 5 hits. A little bit unlucky there.
I'm just sad for Gaimin Gladiators, because this is the 3rd fight in a row where they have the superior vision. Like, they are playing a lot of these fights better, but they're always fighting against Aegis. Their draft just doesn't roach very well, they didn't get the times they wanted early, and it feels like Betboom always has the advantage. And even though Gaimin Gladiators is really having good decisions and fighting where they should be with good wards, they still lose the fight. It's very tough. Also, they killed the Enigma, right? So it wasn't a good time for them to fight anyway. But this Void Spirit, maybe he needs the A on disc. I really don't want to see the Aether Lens. It really feels like he's going in to kill the Enigma and he dies. And this a mid exchanging his life for a 5. That's like the 3rd or 4th time in a row where he did that.
I mean, the threat of the black hole has been a big thing in Gaimin Gladiators' minds, right? I think it conditioned to even Boom's build altogether, right? But I mean, I don't know. Gaimin Gladiators do so many things in these fights for them to work that it seems like we are seeing their brain being stretched out. They don't know how to make it work after they kill the Enigma, especially with Betboom. They're constantly re-engaging, going out of the fight, going into the fight. The Hawk's playing really well even without BKB, usually a requirement of that Bloodseeker when he goes in.
Yeah,
Okay.
There's a refresher BKB on this Enigma, by the way.
Double might just die to the Viper. I don't think that Cold Embrace saves you. But the Hawk in a similar position, however, he has Aegis. It's expiring soon anyway, so it's not that big a deal if he falls.
Alright. So, yeah, you have to play like the James Webb telescope here. Make sure you follow Sonico. There's 2 black holes, and we want to see that in high resolution.
Sure.
He did finish his BKB.
Yep.
So we do have a opportunity. I feel like this is the timing for Betboom. They clearly see how strong they are. This Enigma is online. Everyone's online on the side of Betboom. For Gaming Gladiators, they have to play on the mistakes of Betboom, because I don't think they can be proactively fighting anymore unless, you know, cooldowns, BKBs are wasted on the enemy side.
Take over the triangle now. Betboom, this is the final shove, you can say. When a team feels like they're much stronger than the enemy, they're going to keep on scaling and being better. You usually take over triangle, shove bottom and mid, and it makes it so Gaming Gladiators loses options in these fights. Betboom.
Gilger.
Okay. For now, Boom is fine. There's the ward. Plays Gilger. Actually gets this. Well done on that Avalanche. Unfortunately, it is a Void Spirit, so unless you got the black hole perfectly, that was impossible. Still no Shard of Notice, so his push is a little bit lackluster. They do find the Cuddle, though, in a potentially bad position. So they already committed the Solar Guardian just to go into the fight. Laurel has to played himself with the black hole, stopping Ace, and they can kill him inside the black hole. That's the first one of them. No, actually, refreshed it. Never mind. I don't know where that went. As without Ace, that's only the first one. That's the refresh used on the Hawk. He has refresh Shard used on the Hawk for a second rupture. Or third and fourth rupture, rather, as the rupture falls here. The Hawk will be able to get rid of the enemy carry. Boom, with a simulate stun, stopping the Enigma, but Enigma's not that useful anymore. He actually has to get rid of the Great Effect first, and he's just gonna get killed. Notice, keeps Ace at bay. Everyone's buying back here from Gaming Gladiators. They're desperately trying to make this work, but notice it's literally just a turret right now. Spitting poison at anyone who comes his way. Now he finally gets moved. There's a dispose. They're starting to steal his damage. He's quite tanky though, and he forced himself to safety. They need a stun. They don't have it.
Oh my
God.
Oh, wow. Forced 5 buybacks here on Betboom. They lost Laurel. He'll bought back. Also Gilger, I guess. He also popped back, and it was fine overall for Betboom. They seemed unstoppable there, honestly. They didn't even need a second black hole. They just used 2 ruptures twice.
Yeah, that was a kind of really good bait by them. They were showing that refresher for so long, and eventually they swap it to the Bloodseeker. So I really feel like Gaming Gladiators, they were playing split. They were not really focusing any targets. But at the end of the day, it was they actually do swap for the Bloodseeker. He just does a shit ton of damage in that fight.
Yep.
And I don't mind the buybacks because they were fighting, again, in a good ward and, again, close to the tower. So they could use the buybacks well. But they're too farmed on Betboom. That Viper is incredibly hard to be taken down.
Yeah. The Viper seems like... The amount of space they give to the Viper is working. It's like, right? Even if it's just to be a nuisance, even if it's just off the poison attack, it's not necessarily the damage that he deals. It's kind of impossible to kill him, and it's kind of impossible to ignore. So they're in a really awkward situation where they have to kill Enigma, they have to kill Viper, Cuddle, Bloodseeker, all to be able to have a normal fight. And at that point, you're like, we have to team wipe them just to be able to actually win a fight. It's too difficult for Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, I do feel like that is on Gaming Gladiators, though. I think it's kind of... You can't really say that a Viper goes Midas and then the mid Cuddle dies only 1 time in 45 minutes, and the Bloodseeker only dies 1 time as well. So I do feel like it were...
Died 3, right? But still, you're right.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he did die 3. But he actually died 1 time the last fight, so pretty much...
yeah, he's died recently. The two times have been like the last 6 minutes or so, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So like everyone was greedy, no one got punished, and unfortunately I guess they tried to be greedy on the side of Gaming Gladiators, but no Midases, this Marcy, going Blink Aether Lens, not that much you really get out of that besides playing aggressive, and you can't play like that now because you're very far behind.
Yes, exactly. The Marcy that goes for the BKB build scales a little bit better into the late game because you're about like bringing down the supports and everything. But in this game, that's really tough. And this teamfight Marcy, as we've seen very often, 30 minutes or so is like the limit, and then the dispose does not feel as powerful compared to Tiny, where you still have the toss back massive range, and of course the Avalanche, which is an incredible spell. Okay, Tiny though is forced to have himself to safety. Seems fine actually. Boom. Did not get caught with the rupture. He still has the Lincolns, and then they go for the Viper. This is important. We can kill him in time. We hear the two ruptures, and it's going to be Black Hole on 2-4. Dog is wailing on them. The Illuminator as well. They're all going to be cleaned up at this rate. Duracho can't get away. Duracho fighting for his life as the Hawk tells him to stop flailing around. Gaimin Gladiators literally has no buybacks. They have to call the GG. One good Black Hole is all it took. So Neko, now we see why they were so encouraged to kill him at the beginning of every single fight.
Alright, dude. So Neko played so well this game. It felt like, as you said, he was the first point of contact so many times. And, you know, even when he died, it felt like his life being traded was always meaningful because they had everyone else to actually hail onto Boom. That is definitely a game he was totally shut down. And Gaimin Gladiators, they had good lanes, but yeah, I feel like they just didn't pressure the advantage enough. Part of that was obviously the draft on Betboom. The decisions that they made, just they were in no rush whatsoever. Whilst Gaimin Gladiators, they actually tried to force some early fights, but they got very scared with Boom dying twice at the beginning. And that passiveness was really the problem. I don't think they were ever marching towards a way to win this game. They took good fights, I'll give them that, but it was kind of a losing proposition anyways. As late as this went, so Neko just got more farm, and we saw this great Black Holes.
Yeah, they're also playing against a team like that, Betboom. We've really remarked this a couple of times, but it's important to say they are a team that the smaller mistakes you make, they usually, they punish them, they usually press their advantage. They're very precise about these things, and the last game was uncharacteristic for Betboom, but now we see what Betboom usually does, right? Without that Bounty Hunter, which didn't seem as impactful. Gaimin Gladiators, however, one bad game, or one okay game, right? Does not determine the series. They still have one last chance against Betboom. What will they do in the last game? We don't know. Perhaps they gotta change up their carry style, because that Stunbreaker also didn't seem the most impactful, but we'll have to wait 10 minutes or so for that last game to begin. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast in the game, and we'll see you guys very soon with the last game of the series, and to see who's gonna fight Entity in that grand final.
Most put in that work early. I see the vision clear, seeing things that y'all don't see. Two dogs on the vision, call it 2020. Two dogs on the vision, dogs on the vision, two dogs on the vision, dogs on the two dogs on the vision, dogs on the vision, two dogs on the vision, call it 2020. Beamer, I got my team up. Get it off from rapping, we stacking, getting my green up. We all leaned up, took it a while, trucking and made it a mile. Fucking up every style, you in it now. Told her my family is proud, willing to fight and we proud. Bitch, I don't wanna talk, I just walk up. 100 bands cash, trying to get on my stock. Love all my fans, fuck on my ops. We just make jams, all I make pops. Girls gon' dance, homies I'll rock. Came too far, and we ain't gon' stop. Gave my life and I took my shot. Yeah, rose up top and I took my spot. Yeah. If it's a problem, then we really ready. Yeah, honey with me and we for the war. My heart is formed and my vision deadly. I've been dialing in my sights, see it 2020.
Seeing the stars reminds me of you. Oh, oh, oh. You left me with scars, but I know that one day you'll see it through. You give me air to breathe, you give me light to see. Oh, when things are out of reach, you bring them back to me. Back to me. something more than this. I've lost control of it. I've lost control. You give me air to breathe. You give me light to see. When things are out of reach, you bring them back to me. Back to me. You see it through. You see it through. You see it
Slide back to the future, got my own time. It's sniffing dope to feel right. Got my own high, don't need no lies. Sneaky bitches never ever act with so nice. Alright. You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume up it. Do you see in the back? You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume bumping. Take a seat in the back, yeah. Alright, hot damn. Not worrying about man's got a plan. It's not really about the dough, that a time frame. Matter of fact, about to blow up the Hall of Fame. So good, hell, I'm all fine. Got a sweet little ooh, and it's all mine. My shoe games, class high, hit it all the time. You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume open. I'ma go get 'em. No time looking back, every day gotta do better. I'ma go get 'em. Blow the roof off, or I really want to see now. Go tell 'em. About to touch the sky, no helmet. Preparing myself on top, no weapons. On my own, I stop caring. Cause they keep telling me. You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume open. Take a seat in the back, yeah. You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the volume open. Take a seat in the back, yeah.
Chiqui, escucha loco, siéntate y relájate un poco, que en esta vida el tiempo es loco, puedes perder momentos preciosos y sepas que cuando pides ayuda yo me levanto, todo lo que tengo lo comparto, y aunque me sienta triste yo canto, ay canto, vive una vida llena de personas que te quieran, que te respeten de veras y que lloren cuando mueras. Deja de mirar la acera y levanta la cabeza, sigue pa'lante y no temas, resolverás los problemas. Ay mamá, si una cosa no te gusta, cámbiala, si la situación te asusta, enfréntala, si la vida es injusta, grita, deja de callar, escucha, si la alegría te abraza, acéptala, si la suerte no te roza, búscala, nunca te prives de la felicidad, de tu libertad. De tu libertad. De tu libertad. Tengo la fuerza, vivir no me espanta. Si me conoces sabe bien que no soy santa. No me privo de lo que me encanta. Si no hay razones para que lo haga, no me gustan los problemas, sabe que yo ando como quiera, no digo que no. Yo soy a mi manera, no me arrepiento. Escucha mi consejo, mi amigo. Vive una vida llena de personas que te quieran, que te respeten de veras y que lloren cuando mueras. Deja de mirar la acera y levanta la cabeza, sigue pa'lante y no temas, resolverás los problemas. Ay mamá, si una cosa no te gusta, cámbiala, si la situación te asusta, enfréntala, si la vida es injusta, grita, deja de callar, escucha, si la alegría te abraza, acéptala, si la suerte no te roza, búscala, nunca te prives
the heat, but we don't wanna let go. We answer questions that we ask alone. I hear the words, but they're coming out in echo.
Beastmaster.
Would you give up the fight if you had no time to even surrender? Would you give up your rights and let your life slide away?
Keeper of the light.
Why complicate that feeling hate when it suffocates at the bottom?
Well, guys, I hope you were enjoying. This music is wild. I am enjoying this with you guys. It is quite the playlist. Apologies for starting the draft a little bit late, but we're here with the ESL Malaysia 2022 EU closed qualifiers. This is the last match of the semi-final, which determines who is going to fight against MTT in that grand final. Is it Gaimin Gladiators? Is it Betboom? There's a lot at stake in this match. For Gaimin Gladiators, this represents a storyline of success, of rebirth, you could say, for a team that's been looking to prove themselves after the TPC, where their performance was not as desirable. And they've been looking really good in this tournament until now, but maybe this last game wasn't what they were expecting. For Betboom, this is the representation of all of Eastern European Dota. Not a single team got invited to ESL Malaysia. I want to say casters don't make the invites, so that's another, you can tweet at ESL if you want to. And Betboom will be the representative for that region if they manage to make it. So I'd be really, really hype. Who's going to win? I don't know. That's why I have an analyst with me. My name is Al Plus, and my analyst name is Dota2 Bowie. Complaints at D2 Bowie.
My actual name is Gustavo Alvaro, but yeah, thank you.
Wait, sorry, what? Your what name is Gustavo?
Yes, I would expect you, to know my name. I think that was pretty rude. But, you're right. I think when you look at these two teams, both of these teams were in the major. They had decent runs there. They're not in Arlington Major. So now they're fighting, these 30-party tournaments could be a way for them to get more practice before TI. Some of these teams might not even make it to TI, but ideally they would love to be there. And that's also a lot of money that these tournaments are paying that they would love to be a part of. Now, tell me, are you a fan of Io without Bristleback?
I am
picking Io.
Just a style. I'm a fan if there's some other combo. Can we have that? Can I ask for that, Bowie, or is that too much?
I guess you can. And maybe they're getting this Io because they feel like there's not going to be a response that is too strong. Because usually Marcy is going to be a 5, so they don't expect any, disruptors. I guess Enigma is kind of a pretty good response. And so Nico played a mean Enigma. I wouldn't mind seeing that now.
Yeah? I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind the Enigma again, honestly. I'm a big fan of his Chen in
it's
general.
also a response to the Beastmaster. Enigma
yes.
is such a
high value.
Isn't it a perfect pick here? Yeah.
Can you get away like a Gyro? Because honestly, Gyro versus Enigma is kind of decent because you go for the Ags, and it's like actually legit. And the only time I see Gyro actually being useful is with Io. So maybe they're baiting it out. Maybe that's the ultimate strategy they've come up with.
I think the Hawk even played, he did play Gyro, because they also played Io on Betboom, so I feel like Gaimin Gladiators playing it twice might be a way to actually take that away from Betboom, but they get
Night Stalker.
Possible the Hawk Night Stalker.
Yes.
Could also be Notice's hero.
This is, I think it was NA who started the NA Night Stalker, or the NA Night Stalker, the carry Night Stalker trend, right? But now it's been popular in a lot of regions, and Betboom doesn't really matter if it's offlane or carry, because either or they're going to be a win condition. Seeing how Notice played last game, he likes to play the greedy offlane, so that's exciting. Sure. And there's the Chen from Soneko I was talking about. So they will themselves pick up one of his best heroes. Chen Soneko is brutal, because not only is he a great Chen, obviously that's a given, but his team plays really well around Chen, because they're a very early game, mid game oriented team. So they absolutely love the tempo that Chen gives them. So unlike Secret, where the team is forced to play around Puppy because Puppy is so good, so it doesn't really matter who's in the team, they'll figure it out. In the case of Betboom, it feels like this is the perfect pick for the style they love to play.
Yeah, I really like the Chen. The Night Stalker is really good this game as well because it counterbalances the vision that Beastmaster gives. You're going to have that amazing night vision. And even for the Tiny Initiation, just knowing where he is makes his life really hard. Because it's all about that surprise Eva toss that really does the trick. It gives Marcy the vision to also initiate. We're assuming Marcy is... I guess Marcy's a 4 or an offlaner this game, right? Because Chen is definitely a 5, as you said.
Yeah. I don't think Marcy offlane is that great. I'm assuming it's Marcy 4, and they're just not really flexing it.
Mm-hmm. And then they'll have the offlane carry flex at the end there.
Yeah, exactly, with Night Stalker. I mean, they have to reveal it before last pick on Gaimin Gladiators, but... Yeah, there's the combo with the IO. Seems fine, honestly. Pretty solid against potential carry Night Stalker. Great against Coddle, because you just send him back and pummel the old man into oblivion. Mm-hmm. Good with IO.
Yeah, I like this. They have more catch for the Keeper of the Light. I feel like in game 2, it was pretty much only Boom that could gap close. This time, they already have a lot of solutions before even picking Boom's hero. Unless this is mid-tiny, which I don't think Gaimin Gladiators has been favoring a lot. So I'm assuming this is going to be Tofu Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, this team is like a massive flex because you always have Ace, right? I mean, I guess he's this guaranteed Beastmaster this time, but I do think that Boom also is solid on the Tiny. I guess you also keep that flex to a degree, but I agree with the choice that you said, and Betboom as well, right? Like, is most likely for Tiny.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, okay, they do take the Enigma. Oh, okay, it could be offline Enigma with the Carry Night Stalker, so still fine at that. And they do take a mid-hero, so Betboom also feels like they should address that part. Having the AoE of those heroes against the Chen Crypts is pretty annoying.
Yep. I also think that Kunkka is up there for Boom. Like, I think Kunkka and Void Spirit are the two heroes that I think about with Boom. And obviously is Ember Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I wonder if they're just going to go Void Spirit again. It feels like the straightforward pick for them. But because they have 24, I would like to see something a little bit more impactful. I'm trying to figure out what that hero is.
Give me the Betboom hero first.
Okay. Let's go with... So I want a Vessel hero. So if the Night Stalker is carry, I would like a Vessel hero. Maybe something like a...
Veno? Okay, no.
Okay. It's a response to the Chaos Knight Illusions. Also deals with the Zoo of the Master. It's fine, although I do feel like this Underlord could get... Could take some damage in the lane. IO Chaos Knight's pretty annoying. It's one of the combinations that doesn't care that much about the Firestorm. But it's a fine pick. It feels like they're going to group up and they're really strong together as Betboom. Now Gaimin Gladiators. Give me... Timber Saw mid, it's banned. What's the percentage damage hero here that we could see?
I don't know, they got rid of most of them DP, Necrophos, you know?
Yeah.
I'm honestly... I just think as long as you beat Coddle, I think they should maybe concentrate more on that. Like, can you get away with something like Sankey? Anything that wins against Coddle in lane?
Yeah, the problem is that they have really tanky heroes, so I really don't want to see Void Spirit, because I feel like they're going to lack damage if they go that route. But you're right about the Coddle. I'm trying to think here.
Okay, yeah, that works. Anti-Coddle hero to a degree. The lane is not the easiest, mind you, but you can just depush the lane, right? So it's not that bad. And then you can easily hunt them. However, the Hawk is salivating for this Storm Spirit. Like, until he gets BKB, he is food for Night Stalker.
And that's the problem. I feel like this is a game where he's going to be forced to early BKB, so he's not going to be doing that much damage. This is a game where we really need to see Diracho kind of popping off. Or Ace, if he can just take those early towers and farm a lot on the Beastmaster, this could be a way for them to amplify their damage. But overall, it feels like this is a game where they can, force Roche. There's way more possibilities. In game 2, they felt totally... They just watched Betboom farm with Viper Midas. This game, they can play proactive, and that could be good enough. I do feel like, even though I don't think Storm Spirit is a good hero, the other heroes that they have should be enough to kind of enable Boom to have a better game.
Yeah. I also like Ace on these kind of very complete heroes, like Beastmaster. I feel like the hero can literally do anything. You know, he like pushes, he has some team fight, he has solo kill potential, especially early, ganking potential, right? So I like that a lot because in the last game as Razor, what was his play? Run in and hope not to die? Like, hope not to get ruptured? It's tougher to play that game. Whereas here on Beastmaster is a very clear game plan that everyone can also follow, and because of Hawks, he can dictaminate how the game works early. As Ace used to be an old a carry, right? He is very good at doing that. He's very good at like deciding how the game works from there. He was very used to being in the win condition. He's very good at creating space. I think this guy is the pillar of the team in many ways when they play, and I really like him on the Beastmaster. Even if the shard on the Night Stalker might nullify a lot of the effect from the Beastmaster.
Very true. And I mean, it is the Hawk, so I'm sure he's going to be eating those Hawks with the shard.
Well,
but regardless,
I'm not worried about the Hawks bow. Though great, fantastic pun. Nobody's ever made that before. But do you, as Beastmaster, still go for the Helm of the Overlord? No, right? Not against a Night Stalker, because he can eat Ancients at night. You have to go Wraithback, right?
Yes, it just feels so sad. Maybe just go Ags then, if you're not gonna go. I think they're gonna lack damage, and I want to see Ace being more of a win condition this game. You know, he might go Wraithback to your right, but I think Ags is not bad either. You're against very tanky heroes, and they don't have that much burst damage inside of Betboom. So this could be one of those games where the CK front lines and Ace just get so much damage out with the wild axes.
I am not against that idea. I absolutely love Beastmaster Ags. Ever since I saw Whisper do that in the Stockholm Major, right? It was actually against Betboom, and he almost carried the team back just off the back of his only axes, right? I felt like there's a lot more value than people are giving to this build. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Though I also wouldn't mind the Wraithback, right? A lot of Betboom's damage. It's gonna be the initial like blast plus Underlord Underlord like going in. He pit of malices, you blast them. Wraithback mitigates a lot of that, so it's still very value in this game. It's always value, mind you.
Yeah, and the build up is really good. You know, you want to have that Basi for the lane, so
yes, Vlad's is amazing for Beastmaster.
True. CK also benefits from that.
Yeah. Like, even if Night Stalker's only eating boars, right? Which is still okay for Night Stalker, all things considered, because the heal is ridiculous. The fact that it gives you mana is insane. It still feels like a good build.
Yeah, there's a lot of protein as well.
Yeah, that's the most important part, yeah. Night Stalker, famously low on protein.
No, I mean, the way he maintains that body shape is through protein and boars.
Yeah, it's actually true. This is what I feel like the Hawk. This is like if the Hawk was a Dota hero, this is what he looks like. Honestly, look at those arms.
Yeah, those shoulders.
Yeah. The weirdest part is when the Hawk in the land, he like displays his wings. Oh my god, it always takes you by surprise the first time you see it. You know.
Dude. Unfortunately, he's not going to be at the major, but still, he might go to Malaysia, and I would love to see that in person.
Yeah,
and I mean it's going to be in a resort, you know, so he might even be shirtless.
Stop away! The thirst in this stream is too much, buddy. That was a step too far. You guys can go check out the Hawk's Instagram. I actually don't know if he has one, but go check out his social media. Very fun guy to play around with.
Maybe he has a. I always forget that social media with V that Russians have.
VK.
Is it? Yes, maybe he has one of those.
Yeah, he has a Twitch stream though, and I really recommend it. He has a lot of great memes. He has the Hawk Pasado, which is he has a sombrero, right, and he wears it to to the bass thing, but in Spanish for some reason, and it's the How or the Hawk Pasado, the Hado, right. When he does a really bass take, which tends to be like 80% of the time, if you've ever heard him speak. Anyway, let's look at the actual Dota. We talked about the players enough. Check out Celery's Instagram too if you want to see good food. That's a forced shout out. And let's talk about how the lanes are going to go. You said that this IOCK lane might be able to punish the Underlord. How so? What are the weaknesses of the Underlord this lane, and why are you afraid for him? If it's usually a good matchup against CK.
I mean, I think the problem is that a lot of this Strength Core, especially now that they nerfed the lifesteal on Chaos Strike, you just wear these heroes off. But because you have the constant mana and the constant regen from the IO, you actually trade well against the Underlord, even though it is a good matchup. So it's one of those things where the lane combination becomes good enough to kind of offset the Underlord being good versus CK.
Okay.
But there's also a chance that like if you can get the IO as he uses Stagger, it could also kill Celery. So it kind of goes both ways, because Marcy is really good at just picking those two heroes apart. Oh, TP here. Interesting.
Boom. There we go, the static weapon in. So we're going to die here. Straight up. Goodbye. As Tofu joins. We have the toss ready, but there's nothing to toss to, so I can't do that.
Wow. Yeah, really good TP. You don't expect that TP, but I think Boom was playing a little bit too aggressive. He was very close to the tier 1 tower there. Also, nice TP from Gilgir using the tree line, so they weren't aware that the TP was happening. Couldn't really tell Boom to get out.
I'm questioning as well, like, do you think Marcy has not much use in this lane because there's not much combo with the Underlord? And like, she's better conditioned to just go mid and take kills like that?
Yeah, if the Storm is diving tier 1, sure. I do feel like there is a little bit of kill potential, but you're right. Like, it's not an amazing Marcy lane. It's not like Venomancer, you know, where you just find someone and they die, especially because the IO has that mobility aspect. But he also went for Blightstone, so they're definitely kind of treating this as a kill lane, because you rarely see that item being purchased on an IO 5.
Yeah, I am interested by that too. I guess it's really to buff up the CK. I like it though, to be honest. And now he's trying to disturb Gilgir. Celery, okay, he takes a courier too. Not bad. Gilgir though is like, alright, Celery, you take my courier, you die, buddy. Oh, Gilgir's having fun though. Gilgir, who used to play, by the way, in a team together with Ace, so, you know, good buddies. Good time.
Like, you know, it might be I might be being annoying here, but when I see Io waving his hands with the high five, it kind of bothers me, because he shouldn't have hands, you know?
Right, yeah.
Does that bother you?
No, not at all. Because I don't really look at people's limbs to judge them, unlike you, Bowie. But I guess there's people for everything. Yeah. We have a dispose, I believe, here for Duracho. Yeah, Duracho might just die. Here comes Celery with the healing. The help from the Firestorm, and that's enough. Goodbye to Duracho. Celery could be in trouble himself. Gilgir has rebound in 3 seconds. Celery going to the trees. Okay. Going to the trees, little buddy. Stop breathing, Celery. Oh no, they found him. They tried to do the tether trick, but it was a little bit too late.
Yeah, they really needed the IO to be there. It was a good rotation by Celery, but it was a little bit too late. Doesn't have arms or boots or legs, so that's why he was so slow getting there. But nice stack stealing here from Boom. He's got a couple of creeps and farms these Nico creeps as well. But that's nighttime, so the Hawks here.
Boom will be able to make out for now. We do have a level on Crippling Fear, so even if Boom has mana, it doesn't matter. Just in case, they cancel the Clarity. In comes Gilgir. He rebounded off the Hawk, but the Hawk got tossed, and Tofu will sack himself to make sure his mid laner can survive. However, they could proceed to go for more. No, there's no Dark Ascension. There's no point. There's no point.
Oh, Celery. He didn't get the bottle. He tried to refill the bottle, but his inventory was not properly cleaned up. That's unfortunate. He wastes the TP, and now Boom has to walk base anyways.
Yep.
It's not good, especially with all those creeps and heroes in the mid lane. It's going to be some decent tower damage.
Storm. Let's TP into the mid lane, hoping to catch Soneko, I think. And there's a lot of supports coming in as well. Soneko just sends the creeps over to die, apparently. Unlike, say, Helm of the Dominator, they don't give extra gold, so it's not that big a deal, but you will lose a bit of your army, and chance take a while to recreate it.
Yeah, but I do like the Gaming Gladiators use a lot of those resources to defend mid. It definitely weakens their side lanes, but it is what it is. You do have to protect the mid tier 1. In terms of Ace, though, he's actually doing decently well. His net worth isn't high, but the Night Stalker kind of chased that Storm for a minute, so the Hawk is actually the lowest net worth hero, net worth core right now. But did pay the price for being that active.
Top lane Ace. We don't have Solar Bind yet, but nice Blinding Light to send him into a Void and to the Illuminate as well. Ace, even if he summons a Boar, he's most likely dead. So they bring him down before he can get any big core item. We haven't seen still what he's going for, just Phase Boots. So we don't know yet if he's going to go for the Vlads or what's his first item going to be.
Speaking of items, click on Boom. He has no Talisman and BKB queued up. That's how scared he is of the Night Stalker. So, I mean, at least they have a clear timing on how they're gonna use the Storm Spirit. But it could be foreshadowing of a terrible Storm Spirit game. I feel like this is one of those games where if he gets away with farming this BKB, it could be amazing. But he could just die like 4 times in a row just because of the Cauto combo we saw with the push back into the Silence of the Night Stalker. Even the Underlord gonna have some really good answers. I mean, there's so many answers for Storm this game before BKB, and even when he has BKB, he's only gonna have a very narrow window to fight. So I'm really scared for Boom. It is one of those games where they can obviously win, but it feels really hard to execute.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's really all in that BKB timing. Like, I don't think Boom can really do much except for getting his all pickoffs until that BKB comes up because of the threat Night Stalker. And the Huck knows. You don't see Crippling Fear this early in a Night Stalker, especially carry one. Oh, wow. Gilger. That was a wild play. He still disposed, and he disposes Tofu. Help from Laurel. Gilger. Just saved. The Illuminate doesn't hit anyone, obviously.
Alright, so Beastmaster is going for the build that you mentioned. Straight up Vlad Arenos here. So no Hound Dominator, only has 1 point of the board, pretty much only for the Vision of the Hawk, really.
Muracho. I get found out here, there's a rebound. We need to dispose. There we go, dispose to the Pit of Malice, that's gonna work well. The new Snark Ascension, they kick him out of the Pit of Malice just to make sure the Illuminate hits. And the Hawk will now be able to push this tower, hopefully. Very active carry play by the Hawk. One of his best assets as a carry.
Yeah, and he is always rotating at the right time. He made sure, even though he lost a lot of time chasing the storm, it also meant that the storm was not doing anything. It was also running for a minute. You do find Marcy here.
Yeah, Gilger. Trying to get the dispose off, got a little bit greedy, but saved by the hand of God, and that dispose was on point by Gilger. Stunning both at once, allowing him to retreat. They have left Notice behind, he just got Primal Roared, even fighting inside his Pit of Malice, he could be in trouble himself, and with a Magic Wand, he doesn't even use it. Crippling Fear though preemptively, hoping to save the Hawk some time, as Boom, one last jump, and they're going for Gilger, he wants the big prize, he wants the Hawk, Tofu joins in with the Avalanche, they actually want both, and they're gonna find him! They go for greed, and the greed is good, and Boom manages to kill Night Stalker during his weak point today, which allows him to fight against that Crippling Fear effectively.
Okay. Really good rotations. And also one has popped up.
Oh, they only sent Tofu for now. I heard it relocate. I don't know where he went, though. Oh, it's to the base.
Yeah.
It's to the base, okay. So Tofu's alone, and so Neko's like, yeah, sure, I'll take you. Free kill? Any day.
Yeah, does have Mac on the Chen. Which means the Hand of God is going to feel even more impactful. Mid lane also a lot of pressure coming on both lanes. Oh, they come back here. Oh, they kill the Hawk again.
And they go for Ace in the mid lane as well. They send Ace back. That dispose will work as Gilger activates that Unleash. And so good on the Marcy. Gilger has been practicing this hero a lot. Bottom lane of these Gaming Gladiators killed the Hawk like you mentioned, and we'll take a tower in exchange, but this mid tower is definitely more worth it.
Oh, definitely. This, I mean, it's tough. You really want to kill him, but losing this mid tower is going to be a huge problem for them. Maybe, yeah, I guess they can save it. It will fall. There's no way they're going to be able to hold it, especially against Shen. Those creeps could easily sneak in there and get it.
They couldn't take the tower though, so it ends up being a trade that's actually beneficial for Gaming Gladiators, even if they do take damage in their mid tower. Can you ever do anything with this tier 1 offlane being taken? Like, does this actually open a part of the map, or is it just kind of gold and that's it?
Can you repeat your question?
Can you ever do anything when you take the tier 1 offlane like this? Like, it's given to you for free? Wait, sorry, Gilgert? I don't know.
It
about
was
running
not
away.
for free, right? They lost the top tower to do that. So it was like
Oh, it was
almost.
Sorry, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's
So,
exchange. Okay, it's exchange between the two towers. Like, what can you do when you
It's
take
not
the?
useless. I mean, basically what happens is if you have an offlaner that wants to play that lane, like usually it makes it really hard for him because now there's no protection in that side of the map. Wait a second.
Yeah, now there's a team fight.
Rebound.
That vault didn't quite catch Boom. It's too difficult, but they can bring back the Isle.
All right, so going back to that tower.
Yep.
There's like a couple of offlaners and even carries that eventually just join that lane to farm, and they kind of bank on having the protection of that tower in case they get ganked. And you do lose that protection, but there you go. We're gonna gank Tiny again.
They are going to get Tiny, and this should signify the mid tower this time, as they do toss back the Hawk. But I'm not sure about this one. Rebound will get some extra movement speed, and if I dispose, puts the Rush in a difficult position. Here comes the Storm. The Hawk, this is nighttime. The Hand of God will keep him healthy. Now the Silence, making sure Storm can get away, but Duracho is capable of juking in between the trees. Our Boom in trouble, saved by Celery. Last second relocate Duracho. Armlet toggling to make sure he can keep the fight going, and nobody dies from getting Gladiators. Celery even tanking the creep damage, knowing he's going to relocate to safety. Gaming Gladiators. They might lose a tower here, but they actually preserve everyone's lives.
That's so close. The power spike of Betboom right now is insane. That mech with Hand of God is incredibly powerful. So even though they dive a tier 2 that early, they also don't lose anyone outside of Betboom. But it's clutch that Gaming Gladiators doesn't, because that's easily a fight where they could have lost 2 carries, 2 cores, and they could have lost that tier 2 tower because they also glyphed to be able to protect their heroes.
Yeah.
Super close, but as I said, definitely beneficial to them. Surviving that early power spike of the Chen really makes things a little bit easier. The problem is, because this Beastmaster doesn't have a creep.
Wait, Laurel is get hit by the Chaos Bolt, but it's only 1 second. Can they do something with this? Tofu comes with the allies. They toss back the old man. Pummel him into oblivion. Goodbye, Laurel. And that's a really major kill, because this allows you to potentially push objectives here with a Beastmaster. Illuminate a big nuisance. Unfortunately, no Helm Ladam, so it won't be as fast. But Ace can try. He starts the aura. Only 1 point in their beast, though. Maybe not that big a deal. As Notice gets caught too, this will help them a lot. With this, it's 2 kills going the way of giving Gladiators. Both of the deep pushers on Betboom's side.
Oh, this is huge. Really good moves by GG. Not only surviving that, but knowing that the Night Stalker ult was on cooldown, Hand of God was on cooldown. So they take this really good fight. And we didn't talk about this, but there's a Midas on the Hawk. So he's going to scale a little bit more later on, but it also means he isn't as strong as he could possibly be. And considering they have a Chen, I kind of not sure I like the Midas. I mean, they might just win this game. It's not like it's game losing or anything. But in that mid fight that we saw, I feel like they could have gotten the Storm and the CK if he had an armlet, or if he had like any other more valuable or early centric item.
That's fair, actually. The Hawk loves his build. This is his preferred build, the Night Stalker, but almost every other carry Night Stalker we see is armlets into this shard. As now, Storm tries to save Ace by going into the Pit of Malice, but realizes he himself needs to get out before it becomes the second kill for Betboom. Celery will try to TP. They actually might just dispose him, but no, they don't do it in time. Not sure if it was on cooldown when he reached. As Boom has been vesseled. Here comes the Underlord. They know there's no mana on Boom, so they want to punish this. Illuminate will hit. There's the Pit of Malice as well. A little bit more mana for Boom, but not enough for Bolt Lightning. So unfortunately, he will die as everyone takes the Fiend Skate to kill off the Storm. Gilgert has no dispose. He might get finished off by Duracho. Help from the Hand of God, but unfortunately, not enough HP. As Duracho tries to TP in the middle of this, they have no way to cancel this except for damage, but it wasn't sufficient, so they'll settle for Celery instead.
Really close. Nice preemptive ward by Betboom there. They already had that, so it was a great move. Getting the Storm on top of it. My biggest fear this game is that they're just gonna Roche here on Betboom. There is no BKB on Storm, so even though Boom spawns, because it's nighttime, I don't feel like they can stop this. It's gonna be a free Roche for Betboom.
Yep. What is giving them that much attack speed right now, by the way? Just natural. Never mind. Oh. I thought there was some sort of aura here.
It's a tomato, right?
Oh, it's the penitence. Right, never mind. Of course. It's the penitence. The A just goes the way of Laurel. Okay, so just in case they put him out of position. Great Fact is now up on Ace, but Nice Target can deal with it quickly. Nice from Aurora, and with the Avalanche of 3, they can actually break the backline. They will lose Gilker for this. In addition to perhaps not taking down Jonas, he's the next target. Laurel, a little bit too fast, but boom! Ball lane's towards him, unfortunately not enough mana, so he can't catch up. Betboom, they try to break the fight themselves, but it is Tofu who breaks the fight for them.
Okay. They split the fight really beautifully there. Also great play by the Beastmaster. He actually drops the Wraith Pact. And as the Night Stalker was focusing it, he waits until the last attack to get the roar off. So he splits the fight. Storm can jump to the backlines, knowing there's not going to be any silence coming in. And they take the fight. Really hard to execute, but they did it. Gaimin Gladiators just taking an amazing fight, even though there was Aegis on the enemy side. I mean, they still have it, but it shows that they do have, you know, enough damage and the items necessary to take a good fight. And it was a nighttime, so once we get to 20 minutes, I'm sure Gaimin Gladiators would be willing to fight, even if the Cardo still holds the Aegis.
Yeah. The Cuddle Aegis, I guess you could also choose to, you know, start it. If you put him out of position, it feels like he can die twice, right, in this fight. It doesn't feel like he gets great recovery.
Like, they have disposed, they could, like, yeah, there's, like, some saves, but the Wader lands on Marcy, and also there's only the Chen, so you do rely on that Hand of God. Chen is really farmed, by the way. He's, like, almost as much farm as Noticed. This is definitely not being the game he farmed a lot on the Underlord.
Nope, I found the IO. Trying to prevent that tether. Here comes Boom. Oh, Boom is just TP. Boom's like, you know what? IO, you're on your own. Good luck, Celery.
Well, that might give them the tower, though. They do have vision with this Hawk, and there's probably going to be some real estate for GG. Storm did finish the BKB. Does have Grove Ball. Really good RNG for him there. I think they are pretty much ready to fight. They even went the blink on CK. So I don't think this is a game they really want to be sitting back. You don't want, obviously, to fight against the 5 of Betboom. But as soon as the nighttime is over, I would love to see them going for an aggressive play.
I agree. I think that, I mean, we talked about this in the early game, right? Having a draft that allows you to actually make plays easily as well. Like, you have a clear game plan compared to last game. I think is a huge advantage to Gaimin Gladiators. Laurel. Okay, that is a great dispose. Crippling Fear. There we go. But he has BKB this time, so Boom can fight. In fact, Boom wants to fight. In fact, they want to take down the Hawk. The Hawk, though, killing a fair amount. He still has the armlet, quite tanky, but Boom is just chasing after him, punishing him. Boom is out of mana. Boom has no BKB. Now it's time for him to TP, but the Hawk is having none of this. Punish him, Boom, in that high ground as the CK tries to pummel the Hawk playing with the high ground vision as Celery, almost dying to the vessel, manages to relocate barely in time. The Hawk, though, has one target in mind, and that is Duracho. Tofu wants a toss, but the crippling fear prevents it. Tofu cannot toss his teammate back, and he can't toss himself to safety either. So Betboom will be killing both. And now Celery comes back after the relocate. We do have a dispose. Rebound in 3 seconds. Celery, goodbye. Volleyball play. I know, by the way, Tiny cannot toss himself. It's a joke. Before chat mentions that, because that's going to be a mention.
Dude, that was such a close fight. Like, there were so many things that happened in that fight. The Night Stalker actually used the Essence Ring and swapped the Dragon's KO in. So that was one extra source of regen. He used Wand. Then there was Hand of God. There was Mech. He ate a creep. So he healed like 5 or 6 times there. There's no Vessel on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. And they definitely got baited. I think if one of these things that I said didn't happen, it was probably enough for them to kill. Maybe Boom dies anyways, but you still get the Hawk kill. He survives. This is huge. It was a 1k goal lead in, now it's a 5k. It's a huge swing. And you can see how the 5-man of Betboom is insanely strong. But they're gonna smoke anyways. They know some of those cooldowns were spent.
Okay. Just a second. I think it's fair to say, though, that Gaimin Gladiators understood this was their time to fight. So I like that play from a strategic point. But you're right, like, it's hard to measure when it's your time to fight how far you can stretch it. Like, how far can you push it? And I think they pushed it, like you said, just a little bit too far. With Storm being kind of alone in the beginning of the fight, unable to utilize his BKB as well.
Definitely tough. They do come back. All right, so I'm not sure if they had the blink on Tiny in that fight, but they definitely do now. And the ideal scenario here is waiting for the Aegis and getting an Avatos on the Coddle.
Okay, he's talking
10
to
seconds for that, so I think they are kind of banking on this Aegis expiring now.
What does Pivo mean?
Pivo. Is that a French word?
I think it's Russian. Or maybe a game of some kind. I mean, just because Gilgar and Duracho both speak Russian.
Table. No, that's the... Google says pivot table is a powerful tool to calculate, summarize, and analyze data. Okay, that's definitely not it.
I think that's it. No, I think that's it. I think you got it. Yeah. Ready again, probably. Celery. Having fun this game. Yeah, you're right. Let's see. Well, I mean, this fight's gonna be crucial here for Gaimin Gladiators because you said it. They can fight into the Coddle Aegis. They just need to have that one correct fight, and for that they need the right positioning. Betboom was respecting them a lot here. There's no Dark Ascension now, so it would be a good time for Gaimin Gladiators to catch someone.
Oh, they ping it. They know where the Coddle is with that Hawk.
Yeah, they do. And they're going for Gilgar first. Gilgar is going to be a kill. And they're going... Oh, no, they're not. Gilgar with a rebound gets away, actually. Boom. In the middle of the Spit of Malice. This BKB is well utilized, but they lack the damage to kill the Coddle, and instead they lose Celery. Gilgar will fall in the middle of this. Betboom lost both supports. They took an offlaner and a support with them. Duracho looking to re-engage, taking advantage of this high ground, actually flinks forward. The Hawk will silence him. No Dark Ascension, but does have a Heaven's Halberd to last a little bit longer. There's the Heaven's Halberd coming into play. Boom joins in, hoping to kill Coddle. Coddle gets forced out. Laurel barely surviving. The Hawk gets rid of the CK. They need to cancel his TP. They will. Nighttime Void with a mini stun allows them to even catch up to poor Tofu. He's the last surviving member of Gaimin Gladiators, and Betboom once again bamboozles Gaimin Gladiators by taking a good fight near their tower.
And that was clutch. That was a Chakra Magic, or else the void was not going to be available for the Hawk. Really nicely paid there by Laurel. It's tough, dude. I think it was not a bad fight, but there were a couple of mistakes. They initiated on the Mars instead of the Coddle, and that's on Laurel. He was in a really good position under the tier 2 tower. And then when the CK went back, he jumped blind.
Oh, they found ace too. This is a freebie.
Yeah, that's a ward, high ground ward from Betboom. Really nicely placed by Gilgar.
But, perhaps, Gaimin Gladiators don't want to make this a freebie. They want to make it a trade. Dispose, unnoticed, helping him out a little bit. But unfortunately, they can reach him just as easily as Gilgar. Not being pummeled by the Tiny. Tofu doesn't have enough damage. They need someone to help him. They're going for Soneko first. Now it's time. Tofu has gained them enough time. Tofu knows. But with a Fiend's Gate, Underlord's coming back, and Betboom once again is looking to reinitiate. They're actually going for Duracho, and Duracho will fall as we hear about Avatos for Boom. They need some more stuns. Unfortunately, nobody's here. There's the Hawk. Jumps onto him, the crippling fear, but the IO's starting to relocate. Celery will get him out just in time. Boom, if he would have died there, that would have been disastrous.
Yeah, for sure.
Still not great.
I think
still not great.
He was trying to zip away, and once he got relocated, he zipped back into the tier 1 tower, and he wasted a lot of mana. I think ideally, he would like to TP to the tier 2 tower with the relocate and maybe gets one of the people running away. Kind of unfortunate that he missed... it's not even a misclick. Like, he was just trying to get out and waste a lot of mana. But at least he does live, as you said. But this is getting out of control, really. Some of these fights were so close. You know, we had some that were good for GG, like that first fight in the tier 2 tower on their side. But then, once they smoke after the Aegis and don't get enough, like, they lose a lot. Because they have to... There's no way getting out after you committing to the Betboom lineup. They have, you know, the Pit of Malice. They have way too many ways to chase you down. And it feels like they always get a little bit... They get the bad end of all of those trades. The Beastmaster is farmed, but as we talked about, he ended up going for the Wraith Pact, so he doesn't scale as much. The CK without BKB means that, sure, he can engage, but that also means if there's not enough backup, he just dies. Doesn't have a BKB TP way of out of those fights. Boom has to engage with the BKB, which means he also can't really BKB TP out. kind of a weird scenario for them. And they also don't scale late, so they can't really play the game that Betboom played in game 2, where you just get a Midas and chill. They are the ones that have to play aggressive, and at the same time, they can't really dictate when they get out of those fights. They really have to commit. It's a tough situation to be in.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned that, because Betboom was also aware of that situation, right? Which is why they're forcing them into these awkward engagements where Betboom has the advantage.
Yeah.
Like, they've always been counter-initiating upon them. They don't have as good initiation. It doesn't seem to matter, because they're just punishing Gaimin Gladiators.
For sure, but now with the Blink on Ice Stalker, they do have that initiation you're talking about, and a Basher. So even the BKB TP might not be enough. That attack speed from the Penitence on top of it.
Oh, okay.
The Hawk is a monster, dude.
The Hawk is
he's
a
gonna
monster.
find the best target.
If they can dispose him, he stops BKB though, but the Basher hits him, they burst him in time. Celery couldn't even relocate him. Celery would just die. Oh. The damage from Gilger, he didn't doubt on the Unleash.
Yeah, it's the Penitence and
is
Gilger's
beer.
side.
Okay, thank you.
This is
chat.
Roche. Oh, what?
Pivo is beer.
What about
Pivo is beer, that's why. Thank you, chat.
Ah, okay. Thank you, chat.
Hey, Roche. You're right, it's being taken. Sorry, you were saying about that fight?
The Penitence didn't, the Storm never called BKB, so Penitence was running the entire time. That's 90 attack speed plus the sidekick damage. That, the Hawk does insane amount of damage right now. And, I really feel like GG needs to pull out a miracle right now. Oh, they're under a ward.
Tofu? Oh no, Tofu, this is so awkward. He
gets it.
He's sacking himself for the team. He knows he can't do much, so at least he'll give some time for his course to escape.
He really wanted that ward, but he would never get it. No Echo Saber. Minus 50 attack speed on that guy. Yeah, I was kind of skeptical on the Storm Spirit last
They've
week.
done the Beastmaster again! But this time Ace, he has a BKB, and in fact, maybe the Hawk could be in trouble, but they don't commit the Roar. They realize he's a little bit too tanky, they're not going to be baited again into a bad play.
I mean, the Storm is going for an Eggs, which is a great item, especially against a 5-man lineup like BB, but I don't feel like the Eggs is gonna do much, because they don't have a lot of AoE follow-up. It's like a tiny, and they don't have the Eggs with the Beastmaster we talked about. He is going for a Shard. Oh, maybe that's it. You get the the Vortex into a 5-man Hawk Stun from Ace. That's the way into this game.
Hawk Stun is AoE?
If you try hard enough to do it.
Okay, so it's not. Okay, thank you for the answer, Bowie. There's Tiny being
I never said it's not. I just said you need faith.
Right. Sure. I mean, if you do that, look, you put them. This here's a strategy. You electric vortex them, right? Then you primal roar to spread them out, and they're getting confused. They're getting dizzy, right? So you add an extra confusion factor, maybe. You're right. They have a lot of single target stuns, and I guess vortex at least will give you team fight, but there's no use for the piling up.
Yeah, which is why, the Storm, sure, it counters the Cuddle, but there are way too many Storm Spirit responses in this game, and I don't think Storm is that good of a hero anymore to justify, that was the last pick. So
Yes.
you really need a lot out of that. Ace?
Gilger! It just keeps fighting Ace, but this time he'll be punished for it. Primal roar on the Hawk as well. Boom starts to hit him, but they need someone else. Gilger's still alive, by the way. Finally, they kill him out. As noticed, that's his BKB. Nice bit of mouse to forward. They actually initiate onto us. The Hawk has to choose a target. He goes for the Storm. He's been silenced. He does this whole BKB on Boom, but he barely gets away thanks to the avalanche from Tofu. As they stun poor Turacho, trying to go through that dark portal. That's not going to work out. Turacho's dead. 60 seconds out your carry. But it seems like Betboom, because they lost the Underlord, they don't feel confident enough to go back in again. Or perhaps they do, the Hawk. I spoke too soon. The Hawk doesn't need an Underlord. The Hawk is the Underlord. He goes in for the Storm again. Crippling fear. There is just no way to escape this. That Force Staff was used, I believe, by the Tiny to get the Hawk away, but it didn't work out. Or he misclicked, I'm not really sure. Spirit Vessel does not kill Celery. That was the E-Blade by Laurel, by the way, that saved Gilder.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great fake back. They had a little bit of the duration of nighttime. I think it was slightly too greedy of GG to not be under their tier 4 towers or behind their tier 4 towers. That's how scared that Night Stalker is. They, you just give a finger and he's gonna take your entire hand. This, I don't think, like, the only way out of on this game is an amazing, like, set of events. They really need, like, 2 pickoffs in a row.
Yep.
They need Ace to maybe get a Blink Dagger. They need to start splitting up this 5-man of Betboom, because it is impossible to fight into 5 of them. They really need to get this Scuttle, split pushing a wave. You need to find Underlord. Maybe he's the most, the weakest core on the side of Betboom right now.
The thing about it is that you don't, like, you're struggling to make sure Storm doesn't just get caught with a crippling fear. You're right, he feels like he doesn't have a game, and then, I mean, now you kill Gilger, that's pretty good. Unless, I suppose, okay. They actually commit a relocate for this. Betboom was like, I hear a counter initiation, but this time they realize, let's not force it. They have a really good understanding, Betboom, of when a fight can be taken and when not. It's actually very impressive. Always been the case, not just this game.
Yeah. This game, I feel like Gaming Gladiators, they went a little bit on the opposite end of the spectrum. Game 2, they were way too passive. And this game, I feel like a couple of the moves that they went for were a little bit too aggressive. Like, for instance, this Blink on the CK. It allowed them to go in, but I think it kind of totally sacrificed Duracho's scaling this game. He was behind the Beastmaster just now in terms of net worth. He really had to sacrifice a lot to join his team into these early fights.
This might be the last fight.
Never got a lot. Yeah.
Or the last bait, actually. Because that's all Betboom is doing, apparently. This time they can't jump. Oh, no. Oh, Gilger. Oh, awkward.
And don't auto.
It's okay. They're going anyways. Ace. There's an Abyssal now, so BKB doesn't seem as impactful. However, the Hawk realizes to help his team, and Duracho just went in onto 5, which surrounded him and killed him.
That's what happened.
That is what happened.
That is exactly what happened.
Oh, and he played. We'll catch Chili. That is a ridiculous range. We need a bash. We need a bash. We're going to find it this time. Last time he didn't get it in 5 hits. This time he gets it in 3. Good boy, the Hawk.
It feels like we're going to have an Entity versus Betboom finals, Avo. I don't think there's a way out here for the Gladiators.
Why are you so sad, buddy?
Hey, I'm not sad. It's just that we never really got to see the Gaming Gladiators draft doing what they wanted.
Oh no, the crippling fear, the bit of balance, like I said, the Abyssal Blade, so the BKB didn't seem as impactful. Now you don't have BKB, so there's no chance to fight this. They ruined the Underlord thanks to the Blinding Light, and Tofu will die too. Yeah, it seems like this is game for Betboom. Gaming Gladiators don't find a way.
By the way, I love the combos that they have. You have the pushback of the Cotto into the Pit of Malice as well as the rebound on Marcy. It's so annoying to fight into that. The dispose. It's incredibly hard to fight into that. That's why they need those early BKBs, even the Beastmaster, right? You don't see second item BKB that often, but it's impossible to fight into. The Pit of Malice just lasts way too long, and if you're not going to kill them into the Pit of Malice, it also doesn't matter because you're popping BKB just to get out of a spell that has a very low cooldown. Really nice draft.
Boom.
Smoke. Gonna go again.
Boom leads. He doesn't have BKB though, so Crippling Fear can stop him. There's the Crippling Fear we talked about. Okay, he has to walk away. In fact, it succeeds. Pit of Malice still a nuisance, and they kick him out with a Blinding Light. Interesting start of the fight. The hottest Dark Ascension. Once again, Duracho is left in the backline, so all of Betboom can just wail at him. And that's going to be a dead Duracho. As Celery also falls with him. The Hawk once more. They actually use that Dark Rift to make sure that nobody can get away. At least Boom manages to do so, but everyone else on Gaming Gladiators will just die. Tofu gets a kill before he falls. It doesn't seem like Tofu will be too lucky either.
Yeah, it's a really tough draft to fight into for GG. They don't have a Vessel hero, super tanky heroes inside of Betboom, alongside all of the heals that the champ provides. I was not a big fan of the Storm pick, and I don't think he had a lot of picks, which is no problem there.
Boom is forced back to BKB because the Hawk was quick on the Crippling Fear. They already used the Abyssal there, so they weren't able to stop him afterwards. Once again, though, no BKB, literally no fight for Storm. Pit him out just in case he's feeling cheeky. He gets silenced again. Bye-bye, Storm. Tofu trying to delay the inevitable, but it seems like Gaming Gliders are on the way out right now. Okay, they don't have Crippling Fear this time, so Boom might just be free. They toss a creep over. Yep, they're actually retreating a Betboom. No, they're thinking Roche. Yep, okay, they're playing this as safely as possible. Oh, wow, Betboom. Ultimate respect for it.
No, it's not really that. It's the Wraith Pact. They cast the Wraith Pact, so they had to get out. The Vortex into Wraith Pact, it's super scary.
Right, yeah. Do 25 damage a second. How do you deal with that?
Yeah.
It's better than the dive bomb, though, at least.
Definitely is better. But, yeah, this might be a free Roche. I feel like they have to contest on Gaming Gladiators. If you don't, game's over anyway. So, let's see if we can get another Wraith back into Vortex. That could be it. That's what it takes.
Yeah, at this point, that's what we're asking for. It's very looking
combo.
Yeah, look, okay, they have
7-second cooldown on the Wraith Pact.
Okay.
This is a tense situation.
Stop, Bowie, stop. Gaming Gladiators, they have the Avalanche, okay? Potentially, they can, like, Electric Vortex into Avalanche. They have some damage.
Stolen Aegis!
They stole the Aegis. See? That's a start. That's a start for Gaming Gladiators. Not good enough, but it'll get them somewhere.
And cheese.
The Hawk chases after them. Dark Rift used as... Fiend's Gate, sorry, used as well. As Ace is the target once again. BKB won't last that long. They can probably catch up to him afterwards. He probably wants to get extra movement speed. The Hawk sees the opportunity to go for a Storm. Who knows just that BKB? That's going to be his first life. Can we set up Pit of Malice? Yes, we can. Notice we'll just do it. And a silenced up Storm. Then Rooted, saved by a relocate, but they dispose back to Racho. I didn't even see what he was doing there. Okay.
Unlucky, lucky indeed.
That's it. That's it for Betboom. Oh yeah, throw the Hawk at the Hawk. 1-4 for good measure. Because they dispose the poor Storm. Goodbye to him. Celery also gets disintegrated, and the GG is called. Betboom will take game number 3, eliminating Gaming Gladiators from the tournament and allowing themselves, rather, to go into that grand final against Entity.
Alright. So, in these qualifiers, it was actually Gaming Gladiators that played Entity, right? I don't think Betboom has played them.
That's what I'm checking right now. Entity beat Betboom last time 2-1. So it's actually a rematch for Betboom. But 2-1 in a best of 5, there's 2 more games at least. So or 1 more game at least. So there's a chance for Betboom to come back in a potential best of 5. They've learned a lot, and honestly, they're looking better and better as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like they've been getting away with this Scuttle. Like, they're first phasing it, and every time it just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Laro, I don't know how. It feels like they're drafting, we had the Storm in this game, the Voicepear in the other game. There's a Tiny here. Io relocates, and still, it feels like this Scuttle gets away with so much. A lot of that is Sonico. He's getting these defensive items and really enabling Laro. But, yeah, really excited to see what Betboom can bring against Entity, because, they are looking really good. They did go to the Major, but this could be a redeeming story here for them. Especially with these extra games, you get kind of pumped up. You just play a lot of games, and sometimes it's better, especially for the team that comes from the lower bracket, to have those extra games and kind of heat up before the match starts.
Yeah. Well, let's know we will be taking a really long break, Bowie, as per usual, so the teams can rest, and so there's not a huge advantage, of course, to the finalists. So we're going to have an hour before that grand final starts, and then we'll be able to see Betboom versus Entity. So stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you very, very soon. Until then.
Take the bait, just walk away, resuscitate your nirvana.